usually, well, we're not really ruling Luke Doty out. But then when it came time to discuss the two starting, the guys who might start, you really forgot to mention Luke Doty, which seemed odd. It was either Jason Brown or Zeb Nolan. So it feels like they're kind of on the same page, Patrick, and I think you and I are, in terms of, hey, let's just pull him out for now, and we'll get him back to the East Carolina game, and he'll be 100% and good to go. And I think, again, the element of that East Carolina game, you kind of look at it and say, we can catch him with a little bit of a surprise if they know who Kevin Harris is. But if you can display a little bit of a different offense with Luke Doty and what he does with his legs, which is going to be completely opposite. Jeff Brown, just throw them together there. Yeah. If we just want to, Jason Brown and Zeb Nolan, they're not mobile quarterbacks. These guys are not going to hurt you with their legs. Luke Doty can't do that. This is going to be a different offense.
I'll never get on board with we got to surprise East Carolina.
Sorry, you got to do it.
I won't. I'm not doing it. I refuse.
All right. What about the general idea in college football that you don't want to show more than you got to show until it's time to do that? And you can have an element of surprise. I mean, we've seen it to a certain degree of success, I guess, but I'm more with you here.
We should be in the mindset of save it for Georgia.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Save it for East Carolina. No. Who are we? It's East Carolina. They're terrible.
Wait. All right. This is what I want to get into.
What was the record last year?
The Athletic.
There was more than two.
The Athletic put out their rankings 1 through 130 in college football. We'll get into that when we come back because you got to get some numbers ready for this thing as we're just getting rolling out here at Charwood Golf Club. By the way, through 130, I had a distinct number pop in my head for where I thought they would put South Carolina. I was wrong, and it wasn't close. And I'm interested to hear where you guys think. Not just South Carolina ranks in these things, but some other programs 1 through 130 in the country, and then we'll compare them to what the Athletic.
Can we do where I think it should be versus where I'm willing to bet they put South Carolina? Because there's a total difference. Like you can have your own ranking. You can have the early game ranking, and then because I mean we got some time to kill, right? Like,
we don't tee off till 10 o'clock out here at Charwood for the 14th anniversary golf tournament.
I want a different. I didn't have time to get coffee this morning. Didn't have coffee here at the house. So with the Monster Energy. So you may see a quick flight up and a very quick crash around 7:30.
Good to know. Patrick just shook his head vehemently. Like, oh no.
There's another one. I'm looking at rocks. They got another box in there. It's a full throttle too.
And a Red Bull.
And a Red Bull, yeah. And some actually, I see the another plate cold coffee. I might switch to that.
Okay.
You guys have been officially warned out there. Up and rolling on the video stream as well. Facebook, YouTube Live, Trey, Craig, Josh, DC. We see you guys out there. LeVar started us off this morning. We're trying to go a one laptop shot with all three of us in it. So I think you're getting like the side of my nose, which might be the best shot you get out of me there. And then Patrick is really center stage on the live stream right now with Bill in the distance. And that's our setup. We're pumped to be out live on location today. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of you roll through Charwood and have some fun. A hole-in-one worth $10,000 sponsored by Buford Lending, as is the video stream. Whether you're watching us, listening, however you're joining the show. Looking forward to you getting in the discussion as well. 803-404-6100 if you would like to call or text. Power rankings throughout the country, 1 through 130 in college football, according to The Athletic. We'll see if you agree. That's next. It's the early game. It's 107.5 The Game.
What internet are you attached to?
I don't know. I think it's the guest one.
It says, but then when I go to pull up, you have to log in.
Yeah, no, this thing remembers that. So I don't know what I don't think it's got the password in here on it, but I'm connected to.
Well, it's not even giving me a check. It says Charwood guest, but then it says no internet access.
Oh yeah, I'm not on that one. I'm on a different one from Charwood. That apparently I got a password in last time. And see if I can see it. No. Trey, good morning. No, Craig, not quite in studio.
Did you see the video of the kids?
Josh on DC.
Kids in the yard at the early World Series yesterday.
In the yard? Is that what you said?
Whatever it is.
On like the hill.
Yeah.
No, they're going down the hill.
No. Look at the kid showing his buddy on his phone.
Oh no.
You see it? See this?
Wow.
Kid showing his buddy a picture. Just like. Classic, like 12-year-old boys discovering girls in the early World Series.
Busted on national TV. So I tried to
Mine, I need to Josh talk to Bluff like that here for the Veterans Day trying to get
Morning, Jordan and David. All right. Bust those rankings off on my phone here.
Yes, you must be on the regular Charwood, the one that you but it's going to be Cody or Birdie.
Looks like Rob Schneider. You ever gotten that one, Trey? Your side profile looks like Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. That is a tremendous insult.
I mean, he's a movie star, Patrick.
Notably weird looking.
That's an interesting pull there, Trey. He was talking about me. I mean, Schneider doesn't have blonde hair. No, Patrick's not a golf guy. I made him play in one tournament with me. And that's basically the only time you've ever played, right?
It's the only time I've played.
He can swing it. He's got a good swing. And he's smart.
Just can't hit the ball. Once I had more time in my hands, I'll learn how to play golf. I'm 73 at
Yes, on the rankings.
Yeah, because I feel like the rankings, you said that you're kind of surprised or shocked. I feel like it's going to be much lower. I feel like Tim's going to say, oh, yeah, I would put him in the 60s, but it's going to be around the 80s. A lot of things back to passwords, I think Rock, yes, like, this is lower than it. But I could go find it, looks good, you know, like, probably really good.
You got meat in that cord somewhere?
Huh?
They're getting meat in that cord somewhere.
That's really good.
Because I had to do the show over the counter for you
Oh,
guys.
that's right, yeah, I remember that. Oh, wait, I've moved around, so which against the Eagles. I'm gonna sit for 3 hours and then it's gonna stiffen up. It's just gonna. It's like my knee's not bothering me quite as much as my ankle is. That's the problem. Amazing. That actually hurts.
Oh, under the desk.
What's in this computer? What are you getting out some spreadsheets? Yeah, what do you need your computer for?
On the back of the router, usually goes to distribute.
Oh, I know that. What do you need your laptop desperately for? Is my question.
Oh, no, because I figured if I took my laptop and set it up, that's what I'm telling you, if I set up my laptop for.
You flip that around. So have it look right in here. The little stand-up thing.
Oh, the camera.
Ah, he was talking about the guy from the Dukes of Hazzard, not Saturday Night Live, Rob Schneider.
You Rob Schneider?
I don't think that's his name. It's something like that, though. I think it might be John Schneider.
All these are all black.
That makes sense, Trey. That makes complete sense. Do you feel better now? I mean, that guy is a
Really
notably
good.
handsome gentleman.
John Schneider.
Boy, has Patrick's life just improved greatly. We had a Rob Schneider, John Schneider mistaken identity, case of mistaken identity this morning from Trey on the Facebook live stream, seeing Patrick hanging out here in the Charwood Golf Club. He went from saying, wait a second, that guy is just famously goofy looking, when Trey said he looked like Rob Schneider. He was like, no, I was talking about the guy from the Duke Boys, the Dukes of Hazzard. Now, yeah, that's
Bo Duke.
Yeah, that's much
Yeah,
more
it's Bo.
like it. There you go. Now Patrick's self-esteem is right
Sean William Scott's character.
right back where he needs to be.
I know the Dukes of
the
Hazzard.
reboot?
Sean William Scott and Johnny
Wait.
Knoxville.
Oh, did you just hear that? Yeah,
Wait,
Jay,
those
I
are
know.
So wait, which is it? The actor, or you look like the character? I'm confused.
No,
You look
John
like
Schneider, the actor.
The actor, it looks like the character. Like, he didn't change. He didn't go all full costume.
Really? Well, I know. I mean, you say that, but like you've seen people. You know, was it Leonardo DiCaprio like bulked up to do some movie? I mean,
Leonardo DiCaprio looks like Leonardo DiCaprio in every movie he's done.
except for that one. What's the one that they put out? No, did you not see that?
The one where they said Leonardo DiCaprio looks unrecognizable.
Yeah, they never.
And it's clearly Leonardo
It's
DiCaprio.
clearly-
Yeah.
What was that on Twitter a couple weeks ago?
So weird. Yeah, that was some website that screwed that up big time. That was classic. All right, so Patrick's back, and I want to get back to the subject I brought up, the Athletic. This time it's a classic late August story here, mid-August story, the old power rankings 1 through 130 across the country. I remember Sports Illustrated always used to do this in the college football preview edition, right? So I would get this as a kid, and this is how I would fill my time when I was in school, just bored out of my mind, just reading every single word of Sports Illustrated, and would always, I felt like Bill back in the day, and so we're talking early 90s through mid 90s, maybe late 80s, anywhere in there. I felt like the Gamecocks would always come in a very similar range, 35 to 45 in the country, in these power rankings. Right? Does this sound familiar to you at all? Do you feel like it?
That would have not been what I would have guessed, but yeah, I mean, and I know you're referring to late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, this is like Steve Tannehill era ish.
Yeah, I mean, that seems high, but yeah, okay.
This is where I felt like they fit in. That was basically the range. And then when it came out yesterday, I thought it would be a little lower than that range. But thinking about SEC football, Power 5 football versus everybody else, what are there, 65 Power 5 teams, something like that. I was trying to do the math in my head. That's about half the field. How many other group of fives would be ranked? I had a certain number in mind. We just had somebody hit us up on the Cool Care Heating and Air text line. Newberry Chris went with 73 is his number. Bill, what is your number?
I'm going to go 87.
87. Patrick, what about you? My number, I was thinking 55 when I opened it up. 55.
I was thinking 85.
Oh,
But I was actually leaning towards maybe they'd be in the 90s.
Wow. So you guys are much closer than me. The number the Athletic put with South Carolina is 81.
oh, really, what are you saying?
So now my question to you, after hearing that, 81 out of 130, how many SEC teams do you think came below South Carolina or higher? Depends on
12.
or worse.
Vanderbilt's the only one that.
So you're just saying one.
Yeah.
Not 12. So you're saying one.
Or
I'm
higher,
looking for the.
higher. Okay,
Yeah, I'm looking
South
for
Carolina,
worse.
South Carolina would be 13th on this list. So Vanderbilt is behind 81.
Right.
12 other teams are ahead of 81.
Okay, that is inaccurate.
Really?
I mean, it is correct that Vanderbilt's down there, but there is at least one other SEC team, and I'm scrolling right now to make sure it's just one other, and it is
Tennessee.
Tennessee's the only one, yeah. And
Correct.
That's a bold step because nobody else is doing that. I think there's a lot of people who think that, but nobody else is putting Tennessee below. And I do agree with putting Tennessee behind South Carolina, but nobody else is pulling that one.
85 is where Tennessee is ranked in these power rankings by The Athletic, 4 spots behind the Gamecocks there. What SEC school now do you think is closest to Carolina in the rankings in 81? So it's just Vandy and Tennessee below. What SEC school do you think is the next closest?
I want to go
Arkansas,
Mississippi State. Arkansas or Mississippi State's the answer. You're going Arkansas. I'm going to say Mississippi State.
Mississippi State is correct. Where do you think it might be?
I'm going to go. They're going to be I'm going to go high 60s. I'll go 68.
60, right on the number.
Oh.
Then Arkansas is next after that at 53.
Wow.
So interesting to see these things. You want to go some SEC East teams? You want to take some guesses where you think now? So Tennessee is in that group for the Gamecocks this year that we all know basically determine the season. We assume as long as Carolina takes care of business against East Carolina and Troy non-conference, they get their 3 wins along with Eastern Illinois. Then it's a matter of all right, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky. Throw anybody else in that group that I'm missing?
Well, you do the Troy, East Carolina, Eastern Illinois,
And
Vanderbilt.
right, it's
So
4.
there's your 4
Mhm.
that are, I guess, essentially must win to get to a bowl. Tennessee, and then you're right. Out of that, you're hoping. What I will be interested to hear is not an Eastern Division team. I'm interested to hear where. Let's take guesses. Patrick, where do you put Auburn? That's the interesting one to me. Is Auburn? Where do you have in this power ranking that Tim's given us? Kentucky and Missouri. We'll get to them in a minute, but Auburn is the interesting one. And I'm guessing they're just doing this now because now you've had Brian Parson is tested positive for COVID. Derek Mason's been out. I know Patrick is a huge Milo Sweet Tea fan, sponsored by Bo Nix.
Who's not even been named the starting quarterback yet officially. Just
Well, I don't know if they've had coaches to name a starting quarterback lately. Mike Bobo's in charge of it.
Yeah, so you could also throw Auburn in there, and you just hit it on the number. Auburn is 35, just like that. But
You like that? You agree with that?
No,
sure. I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know.
Wait a minute. You do a spreadsheet of 256 draft picks.
Yeah, so I know like the pro prospects in Auburn, but I don't know. Compared to, it's hard for me to think of all of the. I mean, you got to go by conference. Be like, all right, who's better than them in the Big Ten? Obviously, Ohio State. Who else is definitely better than Auburn in the Big Ten? I think Penn State stinks. So
they did last year.
Sean Clifford's terrible. Didn't Penn State? Didn't they win like 3 games?
Patrick gets to do one show where he tries for 3 hours to talk about guys he likes. So far,
Yeah.
Knoxville, was it Josh Heupel's a dork? Sean Clifford
He is.
stinks. He's not a fan of Bo Nix.
4 and 5 is what
4
Penn
and
State
5.
got
They were
last year.
4 and 5.
Yeah,
So they're better than
I
Auburn.
throw last. Well, Auburn last year was like 5 and 5.
Auburn
Right.
6 and 5.
6 and 5. Yeah, I think they were 5 and 5 and won the bowl.
Right.
But yeah.
ACC, who's definitely better than them? Clemson, North Carolina. Who
Than
else
Auburn?
is definitely better than Auburn?
Right. I think that's fair. I wouldn't put anybody else in there. You put in Miami or
Yeah,
And
you
then
gotta
go
say
to
Miami.
that,
You gotta say Miami, don't you?
NC State,
You
maybe.
have to. I don't know. I mean, they're close. You think Miami would just wipe the floor with Auburn if they played on each side?
What is like for 3 touchdowns? Well, I think they beat them by double digits. Yes.
Miami's all the way up to number 12 in these rankings.
So it's fair, yeah. 35. Like, I would argue that it's maybe low for Auburn.
Do you agree? Do you think it's just done for funsies that you get a Louisiana, who's ranked I think 23rd? I think what is it? Coastal's ranked in the AP top 25. I think 24, maybe 22. Because I feel like you're going to be the person who says no, because Coastal's definitely not better than Auburn. If they play on the neutral field 10
it's just
times,
weird. It's always hard to match that up, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what Cincinnati like? What is Cincinnati rated preseason? Top 10.
they're 11,
Mhm.
9.
Nope. 8 in the Athletic here.
Are they the 8th best team in the country? I find it hard to believe that. Are they? So they had Oregon.
They
assume.
are. Yep.
So if Coastal or if Cincinnati played Oregon on a neutral site, is Cincinnati favored? Are they expected to win the game? I don't know.
That's an Oregon team that went 4 and 3 last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're at 11 of these
It's
numbers.
just so hard to do that. Compare the rankings to who's actually the best team.
No doubt, I agree, and that's part of the fun to me, and also just the perception right now, just to get an idea of a national perspective or perception, I should say, of programs and teams. I want to get back into the SEC East with those other teams that are in that group, along with Auburn, like you mentioned, Bill. Tennessee, Missouri, and Kentucky are the other two that we haven't attached numbers to. Where would you guys guess Missouri and Kentucky are ranked in these athletic power rankings 1 through 130 around the country?
I like Missouri better than I do Auburn. I'm going to think that the Athletic has. This is where I was trying to ask you guys. I think I would have Missouri inside the top 35 if you're putting Auburn at 35. I think the Athletic's going to have Missouri right around, I'll say 42 to 38.
I think they might be higher. I think they're higher than Kentucky. I think a lot of people are fully balled in on Eli Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the national hype around him is pretty strong right now. And I think people like Connor Bazelak. Bazelak. A returning quarterback and a football coach that everyone thinks is a genius. Probably going to lead to a high ranking. I would say that they're probably.
He's got some personality too, which makes people like watch him a little bit. Drinkwitz is. I think he's the next big coach. If I'm LSU and Orgeron stumbles this year, that's who I'm going. I think he's got the personality to go and battle with Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher and those guys.
People are Drinkwitz in the Kool-Aid.
There you go. That was good. We didn't want us to get to that.
Sorry. So put some numbers to it, gentlemen. Let's
28.
I said Missouri.
Yeah, I think they're.
I think they should be. I think they should be higher. Or I think they should be
inside the top 35. You said. Are you going to put a number to it?
I'll say 41.
So outside the top.
He thinks they should be, but he doesn't think the
I think the Athletic's going to put them.
Gotcha. 39 is where they have Missouri.
And I said 38, between 38 and 40.
Okay, so you're all over that one. Now, what about Kentucky?
Lower, 46.
Yeah, under 40, under 45.
They had them right beside Missouri in this thing at 40.
40.
So, to me, really interesting how we see things, right? That Tennessee, we throw them in the same group with Kentucky and Missouri, I think, by and large, this season. Don't we? And Auburn. No, you're shaking your head no.
Tennessee, South Carolina. If you're doing the tiers of the Eastern Division right now, it's Georgia, and I'll put Florida in there. I'll just say that that's your tier A. Your tier B is Missouri and Kentucky, and then tier 3 is and I'll put them together right now. Tennessee, South Carolina, Vanderbilt until our legendary caller until proven otherwise. I've got those 3 right there together.
Mm-hmm. You're good with that, Patrick?
I mean, have large groups of tiers. I think that Georgia is equally as ahead of Florida as Vanderbilt is below South Carolina and Tennessee.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's fair in a lot of ways. Well, look at us agreeing. We're all in the same room. We're not yelling at each other to begin right now anyway. Bill's just struggled to waddle over to his seat. He's got a couple of braces.
It loosened up when I wandered over that way, and then I came back. But now that I've been sitting up for 20 minutes. So was it the PGA the Tiger Woods won on one leg?
That was U.S. Open, famously.
US Open? Okay.
Rocco Mediate, you're talking about?
Yeah, well, Good news. You're about to see a replay.
Not dramatic at all. Bill Gunter, ladies and gentlemen. The first to compare the 14th anniversary 107.5 The Game Golf Tournament brought to you by Integrated Media to the U.S. Open.
Third year we've been out here, Charwood.
Yeah.
Remember the first year? We had a dunk tank. There was a Miami uniform, multiple outfits. Good time.
It was a good time despite multiple outfits. Jen, I hope you could get out here and bring some sanity to this madness and brighten everyone's day as it's getting brighter outside. I'm seeing. We came here; it was absolutely dark, but very professional staff let us in, showed us exactly where we need to go and the whole thing. And right now they're getting after it on the driving range that we can see right outside the pro shop here. Looking forward to seeing you out here as well. 14th anniversary golf tournament tees off at 10 o'clock. Back into the Gamecock football discussion when we return. Going to give you some other of those power rankings that kind of stood out to me from the Athletic 1 through 130, especially as it pertains to the Gamecock schedule, some non-conference numbers attached to that. You're listening to the early game here on 107.5 The Game. Weird. you're not having to the speaker button to hear you, and I'm all out of sorts here. Let's see if we can get in there. Just getting a little bit of the blower audio right outside of us here. Fridge. Northwestern's better than Auburn. Wisconsin's better than Auburn. We've got from one guy. Oh, TD3 at Carolina Calls last night with Shane Beamer. Nice.
All right. I think I might go up to that.
Where is Backstreets?
Somewhere on the bottom.
Where? You know exactly?
Yeah.
Is it in 5 Points?
No, it's like probably half a mile up from Jake's.
Gotcha. So
I've been
near.
Twice.
What's the other place that was up there back in the day? Go to
Oh, the real nice restaurant.
Public House.
Diane.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically, it's probably 100 yards to the left of Public House across the street. It's on the opposite side of Public House.
Diane's back in the day for sure.
I took a girl to public house. This was like college. I took a girl to public house. It was like 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. We go there and they had the little pool tables you go in there to the left. And so me and her were shooting pool. And I was kind of screwing around, but I beat her pretty good twice. So I was like, all right, I'll go get us drinks. Or, go to the bar. So I come back, she's like, hey, we're going to play these two guys. And they're like, are you pretty good? Yeah, all right. She's like, well, I bet them $20. They're like, I bet them $20. I'm like, what? The guy's like, we'll just play for drinks, man. She's like, no, he's good. I was like, not that good. Like,
Great question, Logan.
I was at Nightcaps last weekend. Nightcaps is great.
Nightcaps.
Wow. I haven't been there in 20 years.
I've never been to where is that?
Really? It's on the vine, too.
That's where my girlfriend and first date was.
That's a good thing for you. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where we spent our last day before she left.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Jen, ever been to Nightcaps in Columbia?
No, I've not.
That's a good
They
thing.
have unbelievable mozzarella sticks.
Unbelievable what?
Mozzarella
what makes it
sticks.
mozzarella
Oh, okay.
Seasoned, they're super thick. They're like walnuts. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We might go down to
I love Nightcaps. If you like White Russians, that's their specialty.
That
Yeah.
is not what I like.
Oof. So, Tanya, great news. She says that Gamecock Larry will be here.
He called this morning, said he wasn't feeling the best. But
Uh-huh.
said- but he would maybe call. He was talking to his daughter, and he still may come out. So,
Yes, she says he's coming.
Oh.
And Logan, the over-under on white belts. I didn't see Bill wearing the white belt. Oh.
We just there was not an effort this morning. It was get dressed.
This is good news.
it was too hard with the 15 braces.
I'm gonna go with 3.5 then. No, it's big field today. I'll go 5.5 over under on the white belts.
So we're at 2016s right now. That's 4 guys on the 2016s.
Hundo.
I think you got to raise it a little bit. It's
Whoa.
got to be 10%.
Whoa.
You got to get closer to 10, 9.5, 10.5, something like that.
Wow. I don't think this is a white belt kind
It's
of
not
golf
Labor Day
tournament.
weekend yet. White is still fashionable. We brought up something else there. What was it? But I might try to go down there. We might try to get on there.
Yeah, about a minute before we're going back in.
Lunch is pretty good.
I had what happened last week. I had chicken. We just got wings. Yeah.
Oh,
No, we were just. I was dog sitting that weekend, and I went to Jake's, and we were trying to eat, but we couldn't. So we just went to Backstreets because they had like a little front patio where you can couch
oh, really?
and a couple chairs and see the place you can have a dog there.
Did y'all listen to the college last night? They got to get tired of too far. Get rid of that. Lauren and I listen. I put it on my phone. I was gonna text you like, "Can you stream the whole show?" I don't have a. It's funny. I have like my alarm clock, but I don't have a radio in the house. I got the. They can so air stream everything from my phone. So anyway, so I streamed it. What odd Lauren's they do Wild Wings for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "Hey, here's the Wild Wings." So like every time you'd be like, "We're at come see us at
Look, my girlfriend used to serve at Wild Wings, so she has one of like sleeping churches that have Will Muscham's collar show to it.
Wow.
All right, we're heading back in.
I gotta tell you about this little thing my dad has. It's a little much, commemorative, like, it's not a poster, it's a glass. And it's got his face on it, it has Coca-Cola. It's bigger than a poster. I don't know what it is. got like 30 of them. Like, what are you doing with it?
No.
I was like, that's not a ski.
Guys, Rip.
I guess this year with Louisiana, Coastal Carolina being as highly thought of across the country as they are, and we're talking about top 20 in these power rankings from the athletic 1 through 130, those programs, just to give you an idea of how highly the athletic is thinking of them. Got Louisiana at 18, Coastal Carolina at 17. Never thought I'd see the day of that, but they're coming off of 1-loss seasons last year, tremendous years, and they got a lot back, right? And then you got Liberty at 21. I mean, this has completely turned my world upside down from a college football power index thought process. But even when Vegas has the Gamecocks total wins at 3.5 right now for the season, including Eastern Illinois and FCS opponent to start with. So these 1 through 130 national power rankings are just the FBS teams, the big boy college football teams. Carolina had how many teams would you guess? I already told you that Tennessee was ranked worse than the Gamecocks. Carolina at 81, Tennessee at 85. How many total teams do you feel like are ranked worse than the Gamecocks on their schedule?
Worse on their schedule.
In these 1 through 130.
Cool. So Eastern Illinois is not on it.
Right.
Correct. Eastern Illinois is not on it.
Well, so we know two. We know two. Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
2 SEC teams ranked below Carolina.
I think East Carolina and Troy are both going to be ahead of them. I'm going to take two. I'm going to say it's two. Give the answer, and then I'll give my explanation on this. I'm going to.
No, I want to hear your explanation first, and then we'll
I think South Carolina talent-wise, and again, I think people are sometimes misinterpret what I'm saying. Like, oh, talent-wise, they're good. That doesn't mean they can go win the SEC or win 7 games. There's a difference there. Do I think South Carolina talent-wise is better than Troy and East Carolina and Vanderbilt and Tennessee? And I think to some extent kind of closer to Kentucky and Missouri? Yes. I think nobody knows about these coaches. And so I think the 3.5, I think the low power ranking is because you haven't seen. It was interesting last night. Shane Beamer, I don't know if you guys were listening, how much of the college show you listened to. Very honest last night. He admitted, he's like, yeah. He's like, I'd like to give you coach speak. What he said last night about running out to 2001. Did you guys catch that comment?
No.
It was the complete 180 of what South Carolina fans have heard from a head coach the last 5 years. Todd Ellis was talking to him about it, and Shane said, I can give you coach speak and tell you I'm going to be locked in the moment, and that I'm focused, and that I've got to have my team ready, and I can't show emotion, and we've got to go out and win a football game. That's not going to happen. He goes, I'm going to be totally wrapped up in 2001. I'm going to take in the moment. When I come out, he goes, I'm going to see Sandstorm. And he goes, this is what I've kind of grown up on. I don't know, it's probably been playing a bunch, but I just called it yesterday on Marty and the Heat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see where he talks about, and I think it was back on.
That's how I knew my dad was a big time football coach.
Yeah.
And
I think it was actually on Twitter a lot last night, so maybe it wasn't yesterday. But he talked about, you know what I'm talking about?
No, let's hear it.
So Marty McGee at SEC Media Day they put that little Western motif thing in there at Birmingham, and they had all the coaches come in and they'd ask them questions. And Shane Beamer talks about how his dad had been at Murray State, and he's like, the first road game that Virginia Tech played when Frank started at Virginia Tech, the first road game was Williams-Brice Stadium. He said it was incredible. We come in 2001's blaring and the stands are going crazy, and he is talking. He's like, yeah, the upper deck's swaying back and forth. And he goes, yeah. He goes, that was my introduction to big time football. He goes, a year earlier we've been playing Austin Peay in front of about 5,000 people for the OVC championship. Because now here we are, and it's 80,000 people, and 2001's blaring, and they get hockey running around, and the band's out on the field. He goes, it was incredible. And he goes, that's why I've kind of always kind of gravitated towards South Carolina. It's just that was my first memory of college football. And last night, and on the college show, he talked about that. It's interesting because we're still gaining insight into how Shane Beamer is going to be as a head coach. He talked about it again last night. Todd asked him a great question. He said, hey, where's your focus going to be? Steve Spurrier would focus on offense. Will Muschamp's kind of a defensive guy. He said, in Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley was the quarterback's coach and was the offensive play caller because he was always with the offense. Because in Georgia, Kirby Smart was usually with the defense, but he would also hop on the headset and kind of interject on offensive stuff. He goes, my dad, frankly, my dad was always kind of handling both, back and forth, kind of being back and forth, because that's how I'm going to kind of be is when the defense is on the field, I'll be listening in on the headset and being a part of that when the offense is on the field. So where I started on this with the rankings, we're still learning. I think everybody's still learning what Shane Beamer's going to be as a head coach. And I think just as big a question is what Marcus Satterfield's going to be as an offensive coordinator. Nobody knows. And that's why I think these rankings are always so low for South Carolina right now.
Even as low as that 81 is, I thought it was low. It still is above 4 FBS opponents, just like Patrick guessed.
Oh.
East Carolina and Troy ranked below Carolina as well. Troy's at 95, East Carolina at 98. Vandy is one of the worst on the list here. Vandy is all the way down at 112 out of 130. So that to me puts the perspective of the 3.5 over and under win total for the Gamecocks. That also would include a potential win against Eastern Illinois. A little bit of optimism for the schedule upcoming in 2021. Hour 2 upcoming here on the early game. Turn that up, and I'm going to go use the facilities here.
I'm just hoping that I'll be in here. I'll let you guys know if I have to leave. We've had alarms going off on morning, so.
Awesome.
But fun, yeah. You know, security guard's like, well, it's all good right now. Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, just leave us turned up, and then if we have to go commercial-less, we will.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's another 6-hour marathon if we have to.
There you go. See?
No, she said there are alarms going off in the building, so she might have to leave.
Whoop, whoop.
Just play a 15-minute break at some point.
Right.
Oh,
So I have to walk over there inside to get that out of me.
But you came back.
Well, it's not right here.
Now, with the echo, you know, in the bigger room, in the off time, we can't hear Patrick and Bill quite as well.
Yeah, I figured that was the case.
Yep.
I also don't have a laptop, so I can't read the text.
There you go. If only the mask were a muzzle.
People actually pay for the Athletic? Yeah, the Athletic is
It's pretty cheap. I mean, I almost
really cheap.
signed up for it.
I got it for $1 a month. It's
Nice.
Because he's a drama queen, Trey.
Who? What?
No one. Agreed.
Of course, I don't have zip whip saved on this now. I'm just trying to go where I could
This is fun.
what?
Shouldn't be walking around, my socks got wet. All right, 107.5 again. Format will be Captain's Choice.
Yeah. That network key is not working. That is my computer.
Who's paying $10,000 for a hole in one? Buford Lending is.
Yep.
What if somebody dies?
No, I have to be there as
Yeah.
the station representative to see it. We have to have somebody there.
Yeah, you got it. It's like
If you have a prize over $2,000,
it's an insurance deal.
Wait, so the odds of that happening are just zero.
not zero.
No, they're better than winning the lottery, which I've been trying to do.
Yeah, but the person would have to be in Tim's group, right?
No.
Tim's-
I'm staying there all day.
Tim's not. Yeah,
It's 1 par 3.
Yeah, one part. That's it.
yeah. The closest to Tim's another one, but and it's long. Were you asking
What
me?
hole
Or
is
was Tim? Somebody who was asking me. It's longer than 100. That's the other thing. It's got to be longer than like 158 yards. I think is the official distance.
Yeah.
You know what hole it is?
17.
Surprised it's not the one that's over the little pond. Oh, 17 is, yeah, 17. Yeah. Like you basically have to get a long iron. It's a 3 or 4 iron, if not a rescue. Or,
Dude, I can't believe my camera took a picture like this. Just popped it up on Twitter. Just out there. Looks like it's all altered. Yeah, sky.
tag us in.
Nope, I tagged Charwood. Absolutely, there is, John. Number 17, hole in one for $10,000. You have to do it under pressure. The heck of a hole. Oh, Trey, don't get into it. Says, why is Bill limping? Because he's an old man.
I am an old man. Most people, old Swindell said body light, a back road. I have a body light.
You don't have to be an old man.
Well, I can't go younger, Jen. I can't go younger.
Gotta fight.
Andy called me last night. He's like, "Can you believe it was 15 years ago we went to Kentucky? That old man told me stop drinking." We were in the Kentucky games. Andy and I had smoked 2 travelers in.
Right,
I remember us having a good time. That was the Ron Cooper game.
right.
And so, we went up 24-10, and I'm yelling at the band, "Play Louie, Louie, play Louie, Louie." Well,
Oh gosh.
there was a young child. I was 24, 25. There was like a 20-year-old in front of us. And he drank way too much. And got an elephant ear. Got powdered sugar all over himself and threw up. So it's the end of the game, and he just like punched over in front of us. And so Andy and I, after we scored, we fixed another drink. And the old man like tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, "You don't need to drink and have a good time." And I was like, I kind of just turned. I turned and I was like, "I can handle my liquor, sir." He's like,
Sit down, old man.
He thought that too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm better. I got it."
Philip Rivers got his first win yesterday.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. First, is he 1 for 1?
1 for 1. Nice little
you got the tail on the cut.
post-game.
Mm-hmm.
You have one of the yard. Because I did listen to Old English. So there are some good comments. The stuff that I was talking about when how he coming up, got that one.
Those are the highest team in baseball. The last 3 days.
Or could that be under what he'll do? That's how they labeled it. What he'll do. Okay, Dave. Jen, just for kicks, let's try number 3, just right off the top here. We're taking a shot and dart.
Okay, that's what he'll do.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that one down for the book.
So, like priorities, when it says 100, is that 100 seconds? Like a minute?
Right. No, it's a minute. I got that one. I can translate that.
All right.
Unit is on the field at that time. I came from Oklahoma where Lincoln Riley was calling the plays and coaching the quarterback, so he was always with the offense. Georgia, Kirby's heavily involved with the defense, but he was on the line with the offense when the offense was on the field. My dad flipped back and forth, so I've been around both. But certainly, every decision that's made during the game, offense, defense, special teams, I'll be aware of going on and why. And then certainly there was my background a little bit more on offense and recently, so being able to maybe communicate with those guys a little bit more between the defenses on the field, listening to what's going on and giving my input.
Shane Beamer last night talking about his role, what he envisions, how he envisions things going down in his first head coaching game coming up a week from Saturday. That's last night. Carolina Calls right here on 107.5 The Game, courtesy of Learfield Sports. And you touched on it in hour number one, Bill. You feel like that gives you a good insight into what's going to happen, and because it's one of the big question marks is, all right, well, how is Shane Beamer going to make his mark as a head coach when he's been only an assistant for 21 years?
Whether it's fair or unfair, he also hasn't been a coordinator. At least when Moore Muschamp went to Florida from Texas, it was, he's defensive coordinator, defensive-minded kind of guy, and there was a lot of discussion about that. I think really more so maybe over the last 18 months, as people have said, well, do you need to get a defensive-minded guy for your team in the SEC? Do you need an offensive-minded guy for your team in the SEC? And obviously not having the coordinator experience, I think, people have wondered, well, what exactly is Shane Beamer going to what is his imprint on the football team? I think it's a fair question. Someone that I think that was what he had to answer for the first few years up at Clemson, because he was a wide receivers coach, had never been a coordinator, and people said, he's meddling in the game plan here, or meddling in the defensive game plan. I think a lot more people, especially when it was it Napier? Was Napier his offensive coordinator? That people kind of got upset and thought that maybe he got a little bit too involved. But so, there is an element there with Shane where I think you wonder, okay, if Marcus Satterfield's calling plays, is Beamer saying, no, I think, on third and four, no, let's try a pass here. Whereas maybe Satterfield wants to ride. That's the interesting part. I still continue to think that's why you see the ranking for South Carolina where it's at. And I think part of it is, at least with Clayton White, you can go back and pull Western Kentucky film and go, okay, I got to get the defense here. Marcus Satterfield, when he was an offensive coordinator, was at Tennessee Tech. I don't know if there was any film of that kind of when he was up there, because then he went to Temple, then he was at Baylor, the Carolina Panthers. So there's not even that Power 5 experience of being an offensive coordinator for us to go back and look and say, I see exactly what they were doing here. So I think there's so many questions about the coaching staff. That's why you see the numbers so low. Could be very reasonable. It could be completely unfounded.
Well, especially as it pertains to the offensive coordinator, I don't think that number changes. And the number we're talking about is the Athletic recently putting out their national power rankings, basically, of college football programs 1 through 130. Carolina at 81. Does that number change if Mike Bobo stayed as Shane Beamer's offensive coordinator? He's on the opposite end of the spectrum.
I'll say yes. I think it's into the 60s.
Whoa! Mike Bobo's with 12 spots.
I would think that with Mike Bobo that South Carolina would be somewhere around 67 or 68.
The same Mike Bobo who was the offensive coordinator for the Gamecocks last year.
I think because it's a proven offensive coordinator, and that you would say, he's got a 1,000-yard rusher back. But I really do.
A lot of people would say he's proven to be bad.
Auburn wouldn't.
The people who hired Auburn wouldn't. Yeah. A lot of Auburn fans.
I really think. I think that there is such an unknown there. Justin Stepp, Torian Gray, and Shane Beamer are the three guys who have SEC experience. I guess Greg, you got to throw Greg Atkinson. I forget that he's done some time in the early 2000s at Georgia and Tennessee. But it's this staff, and we've played the Satterfield. I think it's the Satterfield clip, like where he says, "Well, we're not a bunch of retreads and the chip on shoulder stuff." All that stuff. And it is true, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's a complete 180. We talked about this for the last 9 months. It is a complete 180 from the Will Muschamp first staff, where you had McClendon with SEC experience, Lance Thompson. You had Muschamp himself, Travaris Robinson, Roper. Yeah, I mean it was an SEC staff. You know, okay, we got all these SEC guys in here. All right, here we go. I'm trying to think who it is. Yeah, that's the Lance Thompson. So there's a bunch of guys in there that had SEC experience. This one's a little bit different. So I guess now you also throw Mike Peterson, who's been on the staff, in with Beamer and with some of those guys. So it's a different staff.
I don't think the offensive coordinator would have changed much for the Athletic. They won 2 games last year.
That's
what
right.
it comes down to. They've just not been a good team for several years now.
Well, and this is where the conversation this time of year every year is completely skewed, and maybe a little less so this year than it has been in years past because 2020 was such an odd year in so many different ways and a shortened schedule for so many people, and maybe we don't put as much stock in it. But to see Coastal Carolina and Louisiana and Liberty right now all top 21 in these numbers, they had amazing seasons last year. I'm very clear about that. It was tremendous. The odds of them repeating those seasons, even with similar or better personnel, aren't great. Nobody, I don't think most people are talking about that. Sustaining success at one of those programs, I get it that Central Florida has been pretty good for the last several years, but we saw the win total continue to decrease for Josh Heupel and not increase. I guess you can't really increase when you go undefeated for a year. I'm just saying that I think we skew it towards last season too much as opposed to be able to project exactly what you have because you don't know. I get that, and it's really difficult in a crapshoot, and we see that with recruiting rankings every year and the whole thing.
I will say, I mean, you say they can't replicate.
Well, for Liberty and Coastal Carolina, their quarterbacks are coming back. Grayson McCall and Malik Willis. Both are expected to be NFL guys eventually. I don't know about Grayson McCall. His arm's not that big, but I know that like the advanced analytics love him.
Sure.
Like PFF thinks he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
And he had a great season last year. I'm saying the odds of him having a season like he had last year are not great, man. Things went his way.
He was a freshman, right?
Yeah. It was a tremendous, amazing season.
Let me give you the schedule. Some of these you're not going to know enough about, but next Thursday night, I meant to tweet this out. Next Thursday night, ESPN Plus, Coastal will host Citadel. So if you're I'll be interested just to watch that. But sure, you would assume Coastal beat Citadel, right? Kansas on a Friday, September 10th, comes to Conway.
Mm-hmm.
You taking Coastal over Kansas again?
Yeah, but would you be shocked if Kansas wins?
Kind
A
of.
little bit, yeah.
Who's Kansas' coach?
Exactly.
Good point. It's not Wes Miles. I know
I
that.
actually don't remember.
I don't know.
I remember hearing that they hired a new coach.
I think it's coach that committee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of the sanctions on Bill Self he has to coach the football team. All right, so Kansas at Buffalo in Game 3.
Buffalo, pretty good season last year. I know they had a kid who scored 7 touchdowns.
He's with the Washington football team.
He's with the UMass in Week 4.
He's a DC kid.
Louisiana Monroe in Week 5.
Those two, by the way, are amongst the bottom. I think they're like the final 5 and 125 to 130 in the power rankings there for the Athletic. That's where those two are.
UMass and Louisiana Monroe?
Yeah.
Okay. Arkansas State on a Thursday night on ESPNU.
Could definitely be a game.
This is the fun one, a Wednesday night. I love the Wednesday night college games. At Appalachian State. Right.
Yeah.
That's, when you say replicate, look, I get it. 11 and 1.
What is that?
Wednesday, October 20th.
So it'll be chilly,
It'll
right?
be nice, yeah. Good weather. Yeah. Following week, they get Troy, then Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Texas State, and South Alabama.
Okay, so I heard Georgia State and Georgia Southern could potentially still be Coastal Carolina this year. I mean, I would say those are going to be single-digit spreads as we sit here today. You got a legit shot to lose 4 games in there, is what I heard, as opposed to do what you did last year. And
Would
you're not going to
it
have
also surprise you more than if they just thumped everybody on their schedule?
Yeah. No. I would be more surprised if they thump everybody on their schedule this year.
Yeah,
Other than App State
go into Boone on a Wednesday. Nobody strolls into Boone on a Wednesday night.
That's probably the toughest game on their schedule, right?
I would think so. Troy's at Georgia. I don't know. I have no clue what Georgia Southern has. I'm not even going to pretend.
Where's the Kansas game?
It's in Conway. It's on the teal turf.
Yeah, so they could.
Kansas. Yeah, it's Kansas.
Have we even discussed? Do we think if Coastal came to Columbia, are we favored?
Came to Columbia?
Yeah, because Vegas always does things so different than the rankings do.
Right. I think so.
I think South Carolina's favored.
Like by a point or two.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Very, very little. But that's the crazy part about these power rankings, right? You go from 17, where Coastal is, to 81, and that's how it is.
Kansas football coach Buffalo came from Buffalo. Yes, there we go.
Just looked it up.
But now you got to take the Buffalo game away.
He went to Kansas?
He went to Kansas.
That's a good question.
I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think he accidentally wandered through Kansas and like, "Here's your new football coach. You already got a blue shirt on. Just slap a Jayhawk on that sucker. You're good."
Well, if you're looking at it from his standpoint, right, no expectations nationally. You do anything at Kansas, you go Mark Mangino on him, and after Les Miles left, and you can get any job you want.
I don't know what he got paid or anything like that in a minute. He's 57.
Okay,
Like, he should get 5 years. Then he's 62. He can retire. He's,
it's one way to look at it.
He's from Wisconsin. It's more similar to Buffalo than it is Kansas.
Anyway.
Good luck with that. All right. 803-404-6100, the number into the program. We're live on location. The pro shop is starting to hop here. Just put a picture out on social media there at Tim Hill 1075 on Twitter. Beautiful morning as the driving range starts to come to life out here at Charwood Golf Club ahead of our 14th anniversary golf tournament teeing off at 10 a.m. Happy to be out here for sure. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of you, talking some football, a week and a day ahead of the Gamecocks kicking off their schedule in 2021. Going to talk some high school football a little later on this morning with Chris Deering as they head into officially, week 1 after playing most teams around the state in week 0. So we'll get to that. No picks for the last Friday in a while. Maybe this morning we can do our picks for the season. How about that?
We have a lot of different things to do.
Yeah. Well, we need to put some numbers down. We need to put our name beside some numbers, and then we will review and hold everyone accountable for those numbers at the end of the season instead of just run our yaps and make blind predictions and then say, "I told you so," and say, "Wait a second, you also said this." We're going to mark those down. We'd like for you to join us as well. 803-404-6100, the number into the program. You can call or text. Up and rolling on the live video stream as well. Sponsored by Buford Lending, Facebook, YouTube Live, and Twitter. It's the early game here on 1075 The Game.
1075 The Game. Game is on the air, online, on your phone or tablet, on the app, Alexa, Siri, in your gym locker.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
We do, right?
Yeah.
And then we need to do what? We need to pick the Carolina, before the season, we need to pick out their wins and losses.
Yep. That's true.
Do we need to do something like, we need to pick our playoff or national championship or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Why don't you write it down on the back of there?
There you go.
Be the secretary today. I got you.
You got a clipboard in there?
Yes, I do. You need a clipboard on the table.
Well,
Okay, big time.
I don't know.
We'll saw.
If the
On sperm as you're looking for.
Check it out. Check it out.
Impressive, Jim. 74 and 34. Jim on Facebook Live said he shot 74 here back in the day and 34 on one side. Career best. Jim Blakely.
Oh, okay. The Jim in Carolina Beach Jim Corley seems less reliable. There we go. Switch up.
Who's doing the Heisman?
Preseason Heisman. Yeah, let's do a preseason Heisman as well. That's a great one.
We should probably pull up it's like what we do for a golf tournament. We can pull up a list. So sure you can pick Spencer Rattler, but you got to pick somebody else that's
Right.
or we can
favorite and underdog.
or we can just completely wipe out the favorites.
That password, no, I don't know what it was. I mean, I've got my phone, but I couldn't figure it out. But I had no idea.
I would like to go back and look at preseason odds and if the also favorites win Heisman. Burrow certainly came out.
You look healthy. That's good for us today.
I haven't got the frame yet, but,
Evan, what did you say we had out there?
Jensen Castle that won the U.S. Women's Amateur.
Uh-huh.
This is this is where she got started.
Nice.
Nice.
Just where you putting that
I
up?
just got that yesterday. I got to get framed.
That's cool.
So, she's in England now playing in the Curtis Cup.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, I did see that. I watched a lot of golf this thing.
That was Rock here, the pro out at Charwood, showing Bill Jensen Castles a note from her on a flag after she won the U.S. Open Amateur, U.S. Women's Amateur.
Nice.
You've never done it.
Yeah, I've done. I've never done for college. I've done for pro.
Yeah, because I don't know how to. College might be too hard because there's too many teams.
Yeah, they're too easy.
I was gonna say me too. Well, yeah.
So you got to pick against the spread, right? You don't have to pick winning.
The NFL,
No.
pick the winner.
Right.
Once you
Spread
pick
would
it,
be too tough.
once you pick it.
But for college, it's too easy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
130.
Right.
But yeah, the NFL, because there's some strategy involved, and
Oh yeah.
that reminds me, I've got a couple of pools I'll probably.
Yeah, that makes sense because like you don't want to just burn the Chiefs week one.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to come down 1 year like. Of course, I remember 17 weeks.
Yeah, well, weeks now.
Yeah, so I mean, you can still
About a minute before he hit the return.
stay away from the bottom 14 teams.
Yeah. But I mean, still, they're going to win games in the NFL.
Right.
People aren't going to win this in the NFL.
Right.
So Trey wants to make sure that you say hi to Truckee for him.
I'll try to come in here. What's up?
And Jim wants to say hi to Rock. Got it all covered here.
Well, then you need to come out here.
I think Jim's in the upstate. I'm not sure where Trey is. No, Chris maybe hit us up and said we're a mile from his house. So we will not be passing along any messages.
I've got messages to send.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Nah,
Don't fall for it.
right?
You fell for it the other day when Gamecock Cleary was like, "Oh, I got something to say," but you
Oh,
guys
I'm feeling. What did he say?
All right, we're heading back in.
Maybe more that's very sad this morning.
went down.
No, he said something else. I'm hurting. That's what he said. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Technology.
Guys are up.
Oh, the phone's ringing off the hook here at Charwood Golf Club this morning. 755-2000, by the way, if you want to check on your stats. You're going to try to get in one of the last couple of spots. I think a foursome opened up yesterday, so we might have a spot for you in today's 14th anniversary golf tournament presented by Integrated Media. Looking forward to seeing you if you're planning on getting out here for the 10 a.m. tee time. And if you're not, maybe you can catch us next time. We'll be out here. Love being out at Charwood and seeing everybody out here today. I believe a record field set, and we'll see if Bill Gunter can make all 18 holes. He's off to a slow start, huh, Patrick?
I thought we made some progress, and then it seems like we regressed again.
Yeah, there was some progress made. So yeah, it's touching. I'll get through the 18. The question is, will I hit a shot on every? Of course, I may not have to. Rock and Benji, Jesse, Daniel, they just carry me right on through.
We'll see.
So, good group. Good group. I feel like we're the prohibitive favorite.
Don't you always feel that way in anything you enter?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking to bounce back, and Kimry let us down. Where's Kimry?
Yeah.
Kimry let us down.
I don't know. I feel like he rotates between being ultra confident versus building an excuse before he even gets started.
That's a very good point.
Talks a big game the week of, and then game day.
Well, I mean, we are dealing with an injury now.
It might depend on where you're monster energy drink roller coaster this morning. Whether he's
I'm
back
already eyeing up the drinks over there.
back down on the descent.
I'm staying in the middle right now, not to the far right. The far right, it's a little bit too early for that.
All right, what are we picking first this morning? So we're a week ahead. I mean, really a day ahead of college football kicking off. officially tomorrow with a few games highlighted Nebraska and Illinois. I guess, Patrick, what are we going to pick first? You got a list in front of you. We're going to make some season picks here for college football, write them down, and then come back to these things at the end of the college football season.
Well, yeah, I don't know how much research needs to be done. We got to pick all of our SEC teams, the over-unders.
Mm-hmm.
We got to find whatever sports book we like the most that has the over-under set. Then we got to do, I guess we got to go through all 12 games in South Carolina's schedule.
No, we just do a record.
Just a record.
Just a record.
Seems fair.
And then we got to pick our.
You can do it. I'm so sad.
Well, I mean, yeah, we do have 5 more days.
It'd be fun to just go through.
We do have
East
5
Carolina
more.
Winner.
We have 5 more shows before.
It would be a very dramatic segment if we said, all right, East Carolina, and I said winner. Tim says winner, Bill says loser. It'd be a fun segment.
No, I can see that.
Well, it can't be fun. More fun than that.
And then we have to, and we'll all just go, we'll have the sound effects ready. Dun, dun, dun. That'd be fun.
All planned out.
I'll pick us losing at Vanderbilt, but beating Texas A&M or something like
See, now you're
that.
just ruining all the big
That'd
surprises.
be fun.
for
It'd be
dramatic
fun.
segment.
I'd never consider it. We have to pick our college football playoff teams and a national champion,
Okay.
and we got to, now we've decided we're going to do a Heisman winner too, but we got to pull a Heisman.
Yeah, we'll do favorites and a dark horse for sure, or kind of a player to watch at least. But let's start with SEC over-unders, and that might take us the longest. We'll get to look at those. What are you guys surprised about the conversation in the preseason, and what are we missing? What's being left out? Like last year, I feel like it was Missouri to a large degree. I know they finished 5-5, I think, in conference play. That's the weird part about last season, right? It's 10 conference games. That Missouri was relevant last year. I was a surprise, I think, with what was being talked about beforehand and how I think everybody was unsure about Eli Drinkwitz and the whole thing. And then they beat LSU in week number 2, I think it was, and immediately kind of had the stamp of approval on their season. What about this year? I mean, the Gamecocks are certainly in position if they do anything. If they beat any of those teams, I think that Gamecock fans look at right now as Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, or Auburn in there maybe that could help make a season. You win one of those games, I think regionally and nationally, South Carolina gets an eyebrow raise and not expected to do that. Certainly you win 2 of those, I think around here, Shane Beamer earns a seal of approval for a lot of people. You do better than that, and then it's a heck of a first year that will definitely garner some national attention, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, if South Carolina can win 6 games, if they can go 6-6, I would. It's a little revisionist history here, but if they win 6, and you put it on the same level as what Will Muschamp did winning 6 in his first year, and is it that impressive of a performance? There was very low expectations for Will Muschamp in 2016, and he won 6 and then lost the ball game with 6-7. And people are he pulled that out with that roster. What's he going to do when he starts recruiting? I feel like it might be a very similar type sentiment if Shane Beamer can get 6 and you go to the Birmingham Bowl or you go to Shreveport or whatever else the SEC got tied in now for the lower level bowls. I think a lot of people would be ecstatic with that.
Oh, no doubt about it. That's a good question. Do you feel like the program is better off? It's so different because of the different personalities and the different buzz around the program, because the Will Muschamp hire was underwhelming to say the least, I think, at that point. And there weren't a lot. I get there were a lot of people saying, hey, well, Bill Belichick didn't do good at his first stop, and you don't necessarily just write off a head coach if he doesn't do well in his first job. There are examples, and things have gone well, and maybe he's a good fit, defensive-minded, blue-collar approach, chip on the shoulder, something to prove. I get all that. You had all that. But that was almost like a defensive way to have optimism if you're a Gamecock fan with Will Muschamp coming in. Shane Beamer brings the total opposite. You talked about it, kind of polar opposite approach. I mean, energetic, enthusiastic, only speaking positive in a lot of ways, and yet completely unproven as a head coach, but has a pretty solid resume, and then the last name of a college football Hall of Fame head coach as well. So to me, I think I viewed Will Muschamp's 6-win season in his first year. Obviously, the next year was a really good season as well, but I was really impressed with what he did in his first year. if Shane Beamer wins 6 games this year, I might not be as impressed because I think I already have a higher opinion of what he's done with the program going in to the season, if that makes any sense. Just establishing a culture and enthusiasm and energy without ever even having coached a game.
I know Patrick wants to do his picks, so I will.
No, I guess actually it's probably better that we don't even really think about it. Just get a gut feeling on all of them.
That's what I do with my picks.
I don't know what exactly that meant, but what I do think is it would be kind of interesting real quickly or in a segment to go through position by position and what you brought up. Is South Carolina better at that position today than they were when Will Muschamp came?
Okay, let's do
gotta
that.
Write down names for that. Too,
Absolutely. We got a big show here today.
Well, we got an hour and a half left.
I don't remember.
You know, we goofed around for an hour and a half. Why not do a show?
I don't remember the team well enough.
We'll do some research. We'll actually be a sports talk radio show maybe for the next hour and a half or so. That'd be something different. Going to kick off the second half of the show officially. Patrick's written some things down here. You got numbers?
Yeah, you want a wild one that I think we're all going to agree on? Tennessee's win total, you know what it is?
Vegas win total projection, the over-under, is that
South
6?
Carolina's 3.5 and Tennessee's 6. We all believe that Tennessee is a worse team than South Carolina.
And Tennessee plays Pittsburgh, who was, well, I guess Tennessee doesn't have a Clemson on their schedule, so I think that actually.
And Kenny Pickett returned to Pittsburgh. Could be an NFL draft prospect next year.
Usually Vegas doesn't screw these up too much, but they're not necessarily projecting how many wins they're going to have. They're getting some action. That's what they're doing.
Has there ever been a time where you thought, wow, that's a generous win total for South Carolina? Or do we always think they're being slighted, right? At least since I can remember looking at these things before the season.
Right.
I can't ever remember saying, oh, I don't know if South Carolina's going to get there.
Vegas really thinks a lot more than Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, no, you weren't around. You were around 2014. What was it? They were picked to win the East, and I think it was like 10 games.
So
of course, at that point, they'd won 11 3 straight years.
Right.
10.
Lorenzo Ward's telling us the defense is going to be better without Clowney.
Boy, were we naive.
Every time we say that, Bill gets grizzled. That's the point of the show. Good way to end the first half of the show. We kick off the second half of the show coming up next. 803-404-6100 if you would like to join here. It's the early game on 107.5 again.
Oh, fun day out here at Charwood. Looking forward to some golf. Man, I need to get a great night's sleep, be ready to help my team. Even with a slight injury, I knew that an important night of sleep was vital to my day, whether I was coming to play golf or, like you, if you're not coming to play, going to do some work. Maybe you've got a big weekend planned and you needed a great Thursday night of sleep. The question is, did you use the sleep under bed? If not, now is the time to discover the Sleep Number 360 smart bed. I put my sleep number setting on 55 last night. 55, the official sleep number setting for a runner last night. Keep it track. Now, during the biggest sale of the year, all beds are on sale where you can save 50% on a new limited edition smart bed plus special financing. But this deal ends Monday, so you need to make the switch today. 2 stores to choose from. One in Irmo on Harvest Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings. The other in Columbia. If you're not turning across from St. Louis Mall, you can visit them on the web, sleepnumber.com. Again, now the biggest sale of the year. All beds are on sale. You can save 50% on a new limited edition smart bed plus special financing, but it ends Monday. Make the switch to Sleep Number today and find out what a great night of sleep is truly like. Yeah, all right. 10 calories in a monster. That's probably less than coffee.
2015.
16.
15.
Right.
You're right. 16.
That was the year I got separated. Always be etched in my the last game with Landon I went to was Jacob Eason 5 for 19.
Oh, Sunday. Went on a Sunday game, huh?
And I don't know if this had anything to do with the divorce, but after the game, she went home to take care of the kids, and I was saluted to her.
On the Wikipedia Wikipedia entry on the 2016 Gamecock football team is very short.
I talked to her. Did you see? I don't know if you saw this. Lexington school district
Cancel it.
had 300 COVID cases in the first week of school. And Casey, one of their elementary schools is going back to e-learning. I kind of was texting them about it last night. Sounds like that's coming down the pipe for Lexington.
Yeah, both my kids have been doing it.
The e-learning or going to school? Really? They are going back to e-learning?
Yep.
What do you think?
I think one of the hardest things to do in the world is just without measuring, just evenly spaced words out on sheet paper. Because I thought I had it going, and then as we get into the bottom, I had to just space it all in. I didn't have the space at the bottom. If you could just look at eyeball a sheet of paper and base things that easily, you really need to line.
Am I the only one excited for college game day tomorrow?
Tomorrow's not a good day.
You gotta work for this.
No, well, tonight I have to work, but I gotta go to Greenwood to look at a house.
Oh, yeah, you told me about all that
And I
stuff.
was gonna drive to Charlotte, but I have a work fantasy football league that they moved the draft up on Sunday. So instead of driving home on Sunday from Charlotte, I gotta just drive from Greenwood
You're
at
the
like 4
supervisor.
or 5 o'clock.
You're the supervisor. Can't you like change?
It's all supervised.
Oh, okay. So you're the youngest supervisor.
The newest.
Not the youngest.
I should win this league. I was kind of gauging the knowledge of everyone in that league because I have my competitive league with 14 teams, which is a lot, is like all ballers and all people that know a lot about football. But I was asking the work people, like, hey, who's in the NFC North? Like, I have no idea. So, all right, yeah. Not a single person in the league, I don't think. Or maybe one or two. Couldn't name the division.
It's only concerning if somebody's like, hey, is Romo healthy this year or not?
Yeah. Apparently the number 1 pick last year was Patrick.
The last time I
You
played,
guys don't get
the last time I played fantasy football, I had like the number 3 pick of the draft and took Adrian Peterson. And that was the year, that was the year he got hurt. Like, that was his last. Like, he was expected to be good, but he got hurt.
Yeah, that'll kill you. Last year I took Saquon Barkley towards ACL and it ended my season to get ACL. You're done for. Especially in a 14-man league with a snake draft. Because I came back and my next pick was 27.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go position by position, Bill. You good with that?
Yeah, so we got 7:36. We got this segment. We got
Wednesday, 8 o'clock, starting at 8 o'clock?
8, and then we'll do the over-unders.
You don't have to force them in. You don't get them.
We have a week. Yeah.
Are we gonna have Rock on too?
And then we do rock. Yeah, he comes
I
back.
got a mic as well.
Perfect. And then I don't know if the Camp Cole people are supposed to be here. I'm guessing not. I haven't heard anything, but that doesn't mean they won't show.
What's Rock's about to do?
Bogey. Birdie. Anything that's golf course related, I'm going to tell you is bogey or birdie. Like,
You should know.
It'd be awesome if it was,
Should know.
what would be a random sports term that has nothing to do with golf.
Jeff. It's just Jeff. It's like, what? I just text Rock and ask what time you think he might be back to hop on.
Cricket.
Cricket.
She allowed him to have a good
Spurrier.
HBC.
I'm about to head back in.
Thank you, Jen. Oh, I guess we don't really need sleep numbers still up, do we?
Guys are up.
Live from Charwood Golf Club, West Columbia, site of the 14th anniversary 107.5 The Game Golf Tournament, presented by Integrated Media. Happy to be out and about. Glad you're part of the program as well. And 1 week and 1 day ahead of the Gamecocks kicking off the football season. Bill, you brought up a great point in the last segment. How does this compare, the first year of the Shane Beamer era, to the first year of the Will Muschamp era 5 years ago? 2016 it was. Again, realistic expectations, I think maybe the kind way to put it at that point after Steve Spurrier and that squad, everything that happened in 2015, leaving midway through and where the program was. I think you said this before, Bill, that you feel like the program foundationally is in a better spot, both in recruiting the last several years and just from a facility standpoint, where the recruiting operation got to under Will Muschamp. So from that standpoint, you can see it as an easier task for Shane Beamer to take over. I think, though, in some other ways, being a first-time head coach, having a staff that is relatively unproven from an SEC standpoint, you can see it as more challenges ahead. If you had to choose, who had the tougher task, Will Muschamp in year one or Shane Beamer in year one?
I think Muschamp has a tougher task. I think this team is slightly better than that team going into the season. So you talk about, we're going to break it down by position quickly. And quarterback, let's start with quarterback. Patrick, you kind of remember the 2016 team. So now you got Doty, Nolan, and Jason Brown. Then you had Orr, McElwain, and Bittman. So you had two freshmen who had never taken snaps. You had a walk-on. Here you've got Luke Doty, who has at least played 2.5 games. And then you've got, not to be mean to him, but Jason Brown and Zeb Nolan are basically I don't know if they're any different than Perry Orr.
It's hard to use hindsight for this, though, because we're obviously leading towards Luke Doty is better, right?
I think because we didn't know Brandon McElwain and
the way we felt about McElwain
at the time, I think we felt McElwain and or Bentley was probably the better option. Perry Orr had also played.
Well, from a recruiting standpoint, it's not close, right? You had 2 4-star guys coming in, and Bentley and McElwain at that time. And McElwain being one of the most highly recruited.
They're close to Doty.
I'm sorry?
They're close to Doty.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's 2. It's double. Yeah. But the situation seems to be
I think that was similar. I think quarterback is similar. I'd put it as there's not a lot of proven stuff there, right there. And if you wanted, you might actually say Muschamp had it a little bit better because he did have Perry Orr, who had played the majority there, played almost the end of the season there for South Carolina under Sean Elliott and G.A. Vance. I think actually he played the majority of the season now, but I kind of go back into 2015. But so you might actually say that one Muschamp was a little bit better situation.
Yeah, I think that's fair, especially with Luke Doty having not proven hardly anything in 2.5 games and coming in 125 out of 130 on another power rankings list of just quarterbacks around the country. Yeah, you do want to have a proven starting quarterback kind of coming into the season. So from that standpoint, like Luke Doty is the obvious guy. He is the starting quarterback without controversy. But now with the injury deal, okay, so we'll give that advantage to the 2016 team. Surprisingly, I kind of talked myself into that. As you started talking about it, I was going to go this year. But I think it makes sense.
The weird thing about that is we're doing it because, and no offense to Perry, who we've had on the show, but we're giving the advantage because of a walk-on quarterback, like because of his experience. Right. Because otherwise it's pretty easy. So all right, so running back, I think that's an easy.
Yeah, it's easy this year, right? Not even close. It was A.J. Turner and the others. Yep. It was,
David and Rico Dallo. Dallo didn't come in until halfway through the year.
True freshman.
But it was A.J. Turner, Dallo, and David Williams.
So that one's not close, I think, in a lot of ways with what happened last year with Kevin Harris and what could happen, you think, with a couple of freshman guys who have made a lot of buzz for themselves in Juju McDowell and then Marshawn Lloyd. So, all right, so 1-to-1 there. Wide receivers. 2016 is the only time, Bill, that I can remember in decades of Gamecock football where the wide receiver position is anywhere close to where it is going into this season. Because you had Deebo Samuel coming back, but Deebo Samuel hadn't done much of anything outside of one game in 2015 at the end against Clemson.
This is where what Patrick just said, hindsight. Because if you go back, remember, I've said this, that first game, you have a true freshman, Brian Edwards. We don't know what he's doing. Deebo Samuel was still unproven at the time. He had a good game against Clemson. the previous year, but that was the first kind of breakout game. We said, oh, okay, I see what this guy's about. And then you had Jamari Smith starting a game. So at that point in time, it was pretty different going into that Vanderbilt game. I think the receiver position, I actually might lean a little bit more here because of depth, just because of depth, as opposed to, again, no, in hindsight now, I don't know if any, look, here's the thing. Again, going in. I'm with you, like, I think it's pretty early. Now what we know, two guys in the NFL,
Of course.
it's entirely different.
What had Debo Samuel done by that point?
He'd had a good Clemson game.
That was it.
That's what I'm saying.
And Steve Spurrier thought he was good. He was going to be good. And you had that kind of seal of approval. Other than that, you had nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But what do you have this year, Bill? To me, you got
Or Trey
nothing.
Smith?
3 or 4 years ago.
I'm
Your two most productive guys aren't going to start.
Right.
Amari Brown.
They're not in the top
or Trey
three.
Smith.
The two guys who've done it the most in college.
Yeah, and
Does he-
Josh Van's got 49.
Does he have more catches than
He's
Trey
got,
Smith?
yeah, he's got 49. Ortre's, we did this yesterday. I think Ortre's at 41 or 42, and then you got Amari Brown, and then Dick Carroll Joyner. And so you're right. I think it's very even at the wide receiver position there.
Call it a wash.
Yeah. Now,
Okay,
again,
I'm fair with it.
people out there don't want to yell like, "Hey, wait, Brian Edwards." We learned that later going into that Vanderbilt game.
But highly recruited guy. There's not a highly recruited freshman receiver coming in this year that's looking to get playing time and be a guy. So if anything, I would give the nod back to that group. But you're right.
The only reason I wouldn't is because of Marion Brown, even though, like I said, he's not starting, he is a proven college commodity. If you break Calvin Johnson's freshman touchdown record at Georgia Tech, like I realize it's not
And
a
then you
force.
come to South Carolina, you're going to be
But he's been. People say that, but he's been injured most of spring and he's been out. Like, let's see what happens in a week. He's. I think what they talked about him again last night on Carolina Golf. He's a very intriguing player right now.
But like Trey Smith, I am very concerned about anyone who doesn't ascend in their college football career, and you go the opposite way in production.
Should we get tight end in?
Yeah, absolutely. Tight end.
Sophomore year of Hayden Hurst, no one knew what he was going to be.
Right. He was his first time as tight end.
Casey Crosby, I did think Crosby was going to catch a million balls.
I think technically he was still a wide receiver at this point, Hayden Hurst, back in.
By the way, hold on, just real quick, wide receiver. As I'm scrolling through 2016, and I feel bad. The news coming out yesterday that he's left the team right now because of injury. But
Drake
Staples on the roster.
Good for him.
Ask him what he thinks is better.
Yeah, he would be wearing it. See, he wanted to come on, but a tight end. Hayden Hurst had kind of been known. I think Nick Muse's production. I'd have to.
Yeah, I think it would be.
But also the depth. It feels like there's more depth at this tight end position than there was.
But Jaheim Bell is hyped his sophomore year as much as Hayden Hurst probably was going to his sophomore year.
And EJ Jenkins is drawing like it's whether
that one's going to be him, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So we got right now 2 Beamers and 1 Muschamp and 1 Wash.
Yep.
We're a little thrown off as the legend enters the Charwood Golf Club Pro Shop. Gamecock Larry is here, ladies and gentlemen. Tanya has just got him here. Gamecock Larry is making his way over. Can't wait. This is
Can we finish the offensive portion of this real quick?
Right now. I need to take a break and gather myself, and we need to get Gamecock Larry a mic. He's got his 1075 The Gate t-shirt on, much more professionally dressed than Bill or Patrick here. Well done, sir. Well done. He's got a hot take ready. I can see it. It's the early game on 1075 The Gate.
I got a notebook.
You know, now that I look around and I'm looking past Gamecock Larry's notebook that he was waving right in my face, I'm seeing a very clean floor. It looks good here. It looks like Zero Res might have been through here. This is much different than the floors of my house these days. I need to get Zero Res carpet air cleaning back to my house. They've done a great job cleaning my carpets. They cleaned an area rug for me in my house, freshened up the tiles in my kitchen, the bathroom, and how Zero Res cleans is different than anybody else. It's a patented powered water system. That's why I recommend that you get Zero Res out to your home or business. They've got their commercial cleaning division working day and night all over the Midlands as well. Just check out ZeroResColumbia.com. You can find out all the details about that powered water system, how they crank the pH up in the water. What you really need to know is there are no harsh chemicals involved and no leftover soapy residue. That's why my carpets have stayed cleaner longer. Yours can as well, and with nothing to worry about with the no harsh chemicals, especially important to me and my family with 3 boys always rolling around on the carpet these days at my house. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale as well. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, only $119 plus a free hallway when you mention me, Tim Hill. ZeroResColumbia.com, where you can book your appointment today. 803-262-4020 is the number. It's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. Great to see you, Larry.
Waiting for your zero res.
He's listening in right now. Fantastic.
He was waiting for the zero res DND.
Good to see you. Nice work, Larry. Nice work.
Knock on the door about 6:30 for the in my daughter, and the great granddaughter.
Awesome. Nice.
But y'all all wrong about that 3.5 games. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about 80 something.
Well, no, we're not wrong about 80 something. That's the athletic. That's not.
Right? Okay. That's fair. So you're thinking you're only going to be out here a few minutes, did you say? You thinking you're only going to be out here a few minutes? You think? I understand. You're not the only one. I hear you. Let's see if we can get Larry a mic here while he's here. I think I got a cord.
I like to tell, you said 85, didn't you say?
81.
81. That's what it's called.
Tennessee's 85.
I got my fortune ready, but it didn't show up.
Who in the posse let you down is my question.
Oh, Lord.
Let me get on. Uh-huh. He's the only one that works in this group. He's the only one that works.
I got off at 5 o'clock. I got off at 5 o'clock this morning.
Right here. It wasn't a bad job for you.
Just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Much closer than my house.
It was actually closer to, because when I realized
You mind if I bring you over a little closer?
I went that one down.
You want me to talk?
Absolutely.
Well, that's hard.
You think that'll help?
You ask me what, tell me what, that's what you want to hear, I'm gonna tell you about what you want. I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear.
Oh, you just tell us how we're wrong. You just tell us how we've been wrong so far.
I was gonna tell her like Brain, I should.
No doubt about it, man.
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. From 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. These 2 a.m. The other day she looked at me like, I don't know, she gets up at 1:30, her alarm goes off. And the other day she was like, oh, you were sleeping so good when I left, I didn't want to tell you about it. Your alarm goes off.
No, he's getting in. He's going to have his team carry him. He's going to hobble through it, he said.
Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of cart riding, but I'll get out and hit some butts. I might be all right. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
All right, we're about to head back in.
The best athletes show up when they're injured.
Sorry, Jim, what was that?
We're about to head back in. I will take the extra minute.
Yeah, good. We got Gamecock Larry here with us. He's going to be on.
It's an alarm.
Let's see. See, Larry, can you talk into that thing real quick and see if it works? Yeah. Perfect.
No way.
I don't know nothing about these things.
All right, yep.
This is a real treat. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we talk to him often, regularly, I would say, but very rarely are we in the same. You've already told us, Gamecock Larry, as he's here with us at Charwood Golf Club, how wrong we are off the air. You can go ahead and tell everybody else what are we wrong about this morning. It was the Gamecocks.
Gamecock. I heard something this morning. I was sitting in my recliner, and I heard Tim say something like 81. And then I told him, right ahead of us. Somebody tell you like the head of
See, that was Bill.
Bill
being
said
wrong
East
about
Carolina is
that.
better than South Carolina.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that was him.
I ain't worried about East Carolina. All I'm worried about right now is Eastern Illinois, but I ain't worried about it.
Right.
We're gonna take care of it. And I'll tell you what, I hear all these predictions. The Gamecocks gonna win 3.5 games. The Gamecocks is gonna wind up, I think, ahead of Vanderbilt and maybe ahead of Tennessee. And let me tell you, Gamecock made it something. Now, this is it. Now, you can take it to the bank. We're gonna win 7 games out of 12. That's what I'm saying, guaranteed 7 out of 12.
That's fair.
Out of the remaining 5 that we're supposed to lose to, we're gonna win at least one of them. So the final record is gonna be 8-4. Beamer is gonna be coach of the year. We're gonna wind up second in the SEC East. And we're gonna wind up sixth in the SEC total. So that's gonna be a pretty good game for the first year head coach, don't you think? What do you
Absolutely.
say about that, Tim and Bill?
Wow.
What do you say about that?
Well, I'm supposed to, I think I'm spending New Year's in Clearwater. I've already kind of made a decision to go down there for it. So that 8-4 would probably put them in the Outback Bowl. So
There you go. You're right there. Oh, I hope you guys check that one out on the live video stream. Gamecock Larry did that with his eyes closed. It seemed like he was channeling. That was impressive. You didn't even use your notebook.
Yeah, I don't have too good eyes, so I'm getting old. You know?
Get out of here.
Bill is.
Them doctors don't know what they're doing out there. I done got 3 new pair of glasses in 6 months and can't see out of them. So I just close my eyes and say what I think. But it's hard for the old man to think and talk at the same time.
Same for us, Gamecock Larry. We're glad you came, and we look forward to hearing from you a lot more. Hour 3 coming up.
Okay.
Fair.
Awesome. That was great.
No, I can't see. My eyes are bad.
Great work, man. That one right there. Yes, sir. Got that thing. There you go.
Oh,
What you got in there? You got sweet tea? What's the morning drink?
do what?
Sweet tea? Is that sweet tea? What's in the cup?
Oh, I got some coffee.
Good for you.
I don't drink nothing.
Coffee.
Coffee. I drink 2 cups in the morning. That's all I drink. I drink water.
So never at night to stay up and watch games? Never at night?
I drink water for drinking the
Wow.
You gonna take a nap next Saturday so you can be up for the night game?
thing. Do what?
You gonna take a nap next Saturday so you can be up for the 7 o'clock game?
Yeah,
You have trouble staying?
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll tell you what. It wasn't 107 horsepower. Y'all think I'm lying, but y'all keep it going.
Oh, thanks, man.
We got 9 hours a day.
Impressive.
There's only an extra time I'll listen to that. I do not like Dan Patrick. I turn his butt off. I don't like Dan Patrick.
I hear
I
you.
don't know why, but I don't.
Oh, I'm impressed. You got the setup there with the radio and the ear pods there.
Yeah,
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Nice.
Shouldn't you be in school?
Is
You not in school?
Jennifer coming out?
She's not. She is right here. Can you see her right there?
Yeah.
There you go. So
she's.
We got to have her pushing the buttons to make sure this thing turns out right.
Cool, I like that.
What you got in the notebook?
Well, congratulations.
She wanted my,
Yeah,
I didn't even know I had email.
That's Gamecock Larry's email is right here. How about this?
Oh,
guy?
nice.
Didn't even know he had it. We got it.
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Just fine.
That's good.
I tell you what,
Look at Tim all high tech taking pictures.
Go for it.
No way.
Biden's not my president.
All right, there we go.
Love it.
You never know what's going to happen here.
Wow.
I do. On the radio, you can, they come get you.
They do, they do.
You know what? I don't lock my door. I leave my door open. I give them my phone number. I give them my address. They want to come get me, come on. And there's only just one door, and be at least two.
Well, they come in my house, they're gonna roll back out my house. Because I got 45 hollow points sitting right there on my chair.
Oh, jeez.
My chair is right in front of the door.
Alrighty then. Can't hear anything. Okay.
So Hope said, hey, Gamecock Larry. Alan says that he thinks Gamecock Larry should hit every player's first putt on the first hole. York said, God bless our veteran Gamecock Larry. One of the reasons I love working at Dorn VA.
Amen.
Says this is so great. And everybody, Damon's in on this. You got it. So everybody wanted to see you. Glad they got to check you out in person, Gamecock Larry.
You gotta tell that daughter of mine how I get that.
The live stream?
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
don't care what it costs. I don't have to.
It's free.
I don't want no goddamn phone smarter than I am.
I hear you. So Larry's got his earbud back in. He's all over there with the radio.
He's all set up. Nice. Probably has better setup than you.
How's the Gamecocks looking this year?
Nobody knows, but he knows. None of us know. That's the guy to talk
I'm
to.
not a Gamecock fan, but I do like to see him play good.
Right.
I'm a diehard Miami Hurricanes fan.
Oh yeah.
I went to school. I'm from Miami.
Wow. Yeah, they're supposed to be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
You believe it? Manny the guy?
That's what he was telling me. He said he can't pitch again unless
They
they're right now.
need to do like they did back in the 80s.
Right. Bad boys, huh? That was crazy.
Jimmy Johnson was in there.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
knew how to recruit.
No doubt about it.
He went into the hoods where people wouldn't look for him.
Right.
Got the boys.
Yeah, they were some amazing teams.
Patrick's following the same. He was telling me he just said 2 no-hitters.
Yeah.
Kid's insane.
All I gotta say is, what about my damn Yankees?
I've been
12 in a row.
Oh, bro.
I've been watching since the mid-90s, and I have never seen a pitcher as dominant. The closest I've ever seen, there was a kid from Pennsylvania named Cole Wagner that was dominant on the mound. But I mean,
What's he doing these days?
he goes to college. But I mean, he could get hit. They were hitting him.
Yeah.
He threw one no-hitter, but he wasn't dominant like this kid. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He's given up one hit in 60 innings, 114 strikeouts, 6 walks. I mean, that's sick.
That's this kid.
No doubt.
Well,
Check
he in his little league, he's playing up. He plays with 14-year-olds. His coach.
About to head back in.
Thank you. About to head back in,
Head back
gentlemen.
in. Head back in. We got Deering.
Yeah, Chris should be joining us. Jen, do you have us on the line? Deering?
I will.
Thank you. What a special day. The early game live on location, Charwood Golf Club, 14th anniversary golf tournament tees off at 10 o'clock. Now, Charwood is so professional out here. A couple of years ago, they put Gamecock Larry on a banner. You guys remember that? It said, "Welcome Gamecock Larry to Charwood Golf Club." And he was out and about that day, got a little overheated, I think. So we're trying to avoid that today. But right now in the air conditioning with us in the pro shop, just joined us a few minutes ago. And it looks like he might be on his way out now. Said he wasn't feeling quite so well this morning, but powered through it. And a bunch of you expressing your admiration for Larry on the live video stream now where he made his appearance for the first time. It was great to see Gamecock Larry, Trey says. Thanks for your service. Charles says, even as a Clemson fan, you got to love Gamecock Larry. Trey says, Gamecock Larry for Heisman as well. And Christy, Gamecock Larry is such a treasure. And LeVar says, this is all Gamecock Larry time. Oh, he's got to grab his notebook. I'm glad he didn't leave that. He did give me his email address, which I will be passing along. So you guys can contact Gamecock Larry personally yourselves. You want to give us a parting word over there? It looks like Larry has a parting word for us here on the early game as we hand him the mic over there. Yes, sir. So he's catching up, and he's a little bit behind. He's still listening on the radio. Larry, the floor is yours.
I tell you, I appreciate and love all
Yeah, we got you.
of all 107.9, all the people on 107.5. I listen to them and they're on 9 hours a day. Last night I had the 10th hour with Coach Beamer. I'm going to tell you something. I didn't speak to Coach Beamer. But I tell you, Gamecock Nation, let's get behind him, who I know we are. Now, there's a few of them that might not like Coach Beamer. But let me tell you something. Old Gamecock Larry and his posse is full. Roadhog, the Legion of Doom, you're done, buddy. Stick with us. We're going to go 12-0. That's my story. And we'll stick to it until we lose one. But I guarantee you, it will be at least 8-4 when the season's all over. Beamer will be coach of the year. We'll have 5 or 6 all-stars. We'll have a player a couple of the year. We're going to be okay. Go Gamecock. Nice talking to you. And I do not like Dan Patrick.
Take that, Dan Patrick. Larry literally just dropped the mic and now giving us the wave and heading out. Tanya and his great-granddaughter, I believe, all part of the posse this morning. Well done, Gamecock Larry. Great to see you. Now get home, get comfortable, get feeling well. All right? Hope you feel better soon. Great to see you again. And look forward to seeing you again sometime soon, maybe at a tailgate. We'll get Bill to throw away your plate again. We can get to a game. It'll be perfect.
I didn't do it. The kids did.
Thank
Well, a nice gesture.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
What a great time this morning. This is part of getting out. This is the best part. Well, if somebody wins $10,000, maybe they hold in one. That'll be good too. All right, we're going to switch gears. We're going to get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. 803-404-6100 is the number where Chris Deering is calling in right now. Chris has the unenviable task of following Gamecock Larry. Good luck with that, Chris. But you got plenty to talk about, man. If you ever wanted more to talk about in high school football, I don't know what it could be because it's pretty nuts right now, huh?
But they lost an offensive lineman on Tuesday in a heat-related, seems like to be a heat-related situation. So, hearts go out to them. They're not playing this week, taking this week off, and hopefully they can come back strong next week and ready to go.
No doubt about it there, Chris. And they're not the only team that's not playing tonight. There are a lot of cancellations and then a lot of late ads and the whole thing. You've never seen anything like this in your career. I know you've been following high school football for a long time. This is just completely uncharted territory, isn't it?
It really is. I was talking to a couple people yesterday, and one of them said, well, we had the same type of cancellations last year. Well, we might have had cancellations last year. But what we didn't have is teams scrambling to make those games up because most of the games last year were region contests because we started, after Labor Day last year, and this year they decided to start on time. And so a lot of these non-region games, teams find out on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday that their game on Friday is canceled, and they're looking across the state to see who else is in that situation and picking up a game. And I think I touched on this last week. As far as game planning for another opponent, that's really tough this year because you might not know who you're playing till Wednesday or Thursday of the week of the game when it's on Friday. One example of that is Gaffney was supposed to play Dutch Fork this week. They decided to cancel that game, I think, on Wednesday. And Somerville had a cancellation, and so Gaffney is playing Somerville tonight in one of the marquee matchups in the state. It's just, again, I don't know how you game plan for that. I don't know how you prepare for something like that. I guess you just have to really, you hear coaches say it all the time, we focus on ourselves and what we can do, and I think that's really the case this year of teams having to focus on themselves and make adjustments as they go. And so it's really tough for coaches. I feel for them this year. But it's just where we are right now in high school football, and they seem to be adapting very well.
He's Chris Deering. You can follow him on Twitter at cdeering82. Prep Red Zone is also where you can get some of his work. And last week, the example that you gave us was Chapin and Airport making late adjustments to get a game going. And unfortunately, that game didn't even get played, Chris. That kind of sums up where we are at this point, right?
Yeah, Chapin made the ride over to Airport. They were on the field warming up, from what I understand, and there was a call made to the Airport coach Kurt Burnett that there was a player that tested positive, and they had to scrap that game at 6:30. 1 hour before kickoff. So we could see that, I believe, all the way through the season, and what happens when region play starts, and that's how you determine playoff seeding and teams that make the playoffs. And you get into this situation, it's not going to be so easy to mix and match and play another region foe because they already have a game scheduled. I don't know what that's going to do for the playoff seedings. The way it's set up, every region is basically their own boss, I guess you could say, and they make the decisions on how it's handled. It's not a universal thing, and that makes it even, for guys like me and other guys in the business, makes it hard to, follow because we don't really know. It's nothing universal to go by, so we have to get with each region and figure out what they're doing and how they're handling these things, and it just makes it, like I said, just crazy stuff.
No doubt about it. And tonight you can hear it kind of as we go along. Justin Hall and Tommy Moody will be with you on the Love Chevrolet High School Football Show in the Midlands from 9 to midnight here on 107.5 The Game. He's Chris Deering, who writes for Prep Red Zone these days and continuing his work from decades long. Bill, you had a question?
Well, no, I was just going to get Chris, kind of what you were saying. It sounds like it's almost as difficult for you to follow, and you're really involved in it as opposed to me. Go through some of the Midlands games, because I'm looking at schedules. I don't know what's being played tonight and what's been called off or what's been changed. If you can just kind of go around the Midlands, if people want to get out tonight, I know, I think, I don't know what, I think it's next week. Gilbert and Lexington got moved to Saturday morning on September 4th, but if you can kind of just go around the Midlands tonight, give an idea of what's going on if people want to get out and go catch a high school game.
Okay, that's a great idea. And that's as of right now, I have to say, because it could change throughout the day. But I think the marquee matchup in the Midlands tonight is one of these that were made on the spur of the moment. AC Flora was supposed to play Wilson tonight. That game was canceled. So AC Flora has picked up Sumter. That's one of the best Class 5A teams in the state. They're really solid defensively, and AC Flora obviously is the defending Class 4A state champion. They didn't get to play last week, so this is their first game. So that, again, I think that's the marquee matchup in the Midlands tonight. But you have a few others. Abbeville, the defending 2A champion, is going over to Newberry. That's always a good game. Coach Phil Strickland this is his last year. He's been doing this 40 years, and he's decided before the season this was going to be his final year, and so this is his swan song. So that should be a great game. And then can't talk about that game without talking about two of the players and the two highly recruited players. Zach Chalmers, a wide receiver for Newberry, and Jeremiah Lomax, a defensive back for Abbeville. So that should be a really good matchup. Ridgeview is host to North Augusta. Ridgeview's got opened the new stadium on campus last week with the win over Westwood. That should be a really entertaining game. Ridgeview's 5A, North Augusta's 4A. Both are ranked in the top 10 in their respective classes, so that's a solid game. Spring Valley at River Bluff. I saw Spring Valley last week shut out White Knoll. River Bluff beat Lugoff Elgin, so that should be one of those teams will be 2-0, and that's where you want to be after 2 weeks. And then some other ones. I think the team that maybe made the biggest statement last week is Gray Collegiate. They went over to Camden, easily defeated Camden 26-6. Camden was coming off a 3A finals appearance, and so Gray Collegiate really staked their claim as being one of the top programs in the state, and they're in Class 2A. They play in Oceanside Collegiate at home, so that should be a good one. And then I think a couple others might be Blythewood and Goose Creek, and White Knoll and Lower Richland.
He's Chris Deering, covering high school football for Prep Red Zone these days, and unprecedented times for sure. Chris, we appreciate you joining us. All the information right now. Feel for you with the challenging nature of the business, but know you're an ultimate pro, and we'll handle it as best as possible. And look forward to hearing from you. Maybe an update tonight on our show with Justin and Tommy from 9 to midnight.
Yep, sounds good. I'll certainly do it.
Chris Deering at CDeering82, where you can follow him on Twitter. Again, plenty of updates. And, man, we've never had to be more connected, I don't think, Bill, to follow just the latest about anything. I mean, high school football has been hit worse. We were talking about this last year, but last year because of the delay and just I guess maybe we were at the beginning stages of this thing, it wasn't as affected nearly as much as this year when we're talking about cancellations, protocols, and all kinds of just fluidity in high school football.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think the airport Chapin situation last week highlights that, where airport gets out there, has is on the field. They're all on the field warming up, and you end up airport. I think it was airport had a young man who was sick, went to the doctor. I think was trying to get the results back. I can't remember the exact story, but they ended up having to cancel the game at that point. And I think it's one of our listeners or somebody I knew that had their son making their debut for Chapin and was excited and fired up for it and excited to see their son playing high school football and had to call it off. So strange. That's why I hate to ask the question because, we do like to be semi-informed. I have no clue who's playing tonight. Like it's hard to follow, to get on Twitter, to follow somebody and know exactly what games are still going on. So I appreciate Chris coming on to tell people, kind of keep people updated as to what's happening with games and what cancellations are happening, what games have been moved around.
Certainly would encourage you to stay close to any kind of Twitter feed out there or Facebook feed from specific high school programs if you're planning on getting out to a game tonight, just to make sure that things are continuing to stay on schedule. 803-404-6100, the number to get in on this program. Our schedule now will move back into our conversation of Shane Beamer versus Will Muschamp. We'll get in Gamecock fan Rock Lucas, who runs things out of here at Charwood Golf Club right now, to give us his thoughts on that, as well as he heads over here. And as the ultimate host, as always, Rock, I know you guys have been through some struggles out here, or some challenges, I should probably say, with the golf course, and you got it going a lot better than or back to where you would like it to be than where it has been here in the last couple of months, huh?
Yeah, the golf course had been awesome for years and years, and then Mother Nature dealt us a little setback with all the rain that we had in February. But we do what we do. We adapt, we improvise, and overcome, and we're back, and everything's going great, man. We appreciate it. And number one, I just really appreciate y'all being out here. It's just awesome to have y'all out here, and it's our pleasure to host y'all, and look forward to it every year.
Yeah, we've done it several times now. It's always one of the highlights of my year, coming out here and doing our anniversary golf tournament and having the record field today. And most people we've had out here, good to see we're heading in the right direction. Got a $10,000 hole-in-one. It's going to be a blast, I know, on the golf course. And we'll talk more about that maybe in a minute, but I know you're a big Gamecock fan. Our conversation this morning, Bill brought up, who's had the bigger challenge, Will Muschamp in year one or Shane Beamer in year one? How do you compare the two? Thinking back to 2016 and what Muschamp inherited compared to Shane Beamer.
You put me on the spot. I was more thinking about how my partner over here, Bill, is kind of, we got completely different approaches to the game. I like to set the bar low, and hey, I'm coming off fresh off a knee surgery. He's going to probably have to have his amputated next week above the knee. About self-diagnosis, and I'm saying, man, we got to get our strategy on the same page. But I think Muschamp had higher expectations for him coming in. I don't think everybody's expecting as much from Beamer. If you look at, y'all been doing the numbers all morning, 3 to 4 wins is, if he does 5 or 6, he's a hero. So I think the expectation, the bar is a little bit lower for him than it was for Muschamp to come in. Muschamp inherited a worse situation, and so I think Muschamp probably had a harder time, because just the way that the coaching change and everything took over.
Right, it dropped off pretty dramatically there, and coming so close to those 3 straight 11-win seasons, top 10 finishes, and the whole thing. I hear where it coming
from. And the
from.
recruiting at the end of Spurrier's era,
right.
After hey, 2 more years and I'm done, then recruiting just pretty much died. So Muschamp didn't inherit a whole lot of good talent at the time.
So what is your expectation then, as a longtime Gamecock fan, for Shane Beamer?
Well, it's kind of like today's round. I'm going to set my bar low. So I'm going to go if he does 5 or 6. I think he's had one hell of a year if he does 5 or 6.
Do you feel like the program is different? I mean, I've been following this program most of my life, and I know there's always new energy when you get a coaching change, right? And I remember Lou Holtz trying to change the culture. That was his big deal back in the day. He came in with the national championship resume. But to me, he didn't talk about this program like Shane Beamer has talked about this program, if that makes any sense.
There's differences, and maybe you guys, Tim, you're a little bit older than me. I don't know what the feeling was, the general excitement of Brad Scott, because Lou Holtz was never South Carolina.
Right.
He had done it at Notre Dame and at Arkansas, at NC State, at Minnesota. He'd been in the NFL. It was, for him, it was one more stop on the list, right? It was about his ego. It wasn't about South Carolina. Steve Spurrier was kind of about his ego. Hey, Florida, you're gonna make me interview? You're gonna make me interview? I'll go to East team and I'll whip you and show you what it's like. But it was about him. I don't remember Brad Scott, but with Shane, Shane's. This is his job. This is where he wants to be, and he conveys that in his messages. That this is it. We go back to what he said on Marty and McGee yesterday.
Well, I remember the Brad Scott days well, because he was going to come in here and set the place on fire, and we're going to be scoring 70 points a game. And he was kind of like the Spurrier back in the day, and he came in, and it was I remember listening to his going to his preseason talk shows and everything, and he was talking about how you know, he would go down to the defense coordinator, let him score, you know, or hold him or let him score, just get me the ball back because I want to score, you know. Of course, we all know how that turned out.
But he could back that up at that point, being the offensive coordinator at Florida State, who was just rolling everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So South Carolina had two choices when you go to recruit a coach. You either had to go and get a big name like you did Spurrier or Holtz, which the chances of that happening were slim to none for many reasons. And so, or you had to go get you an, you know, up and comer. And so I think we did the right call. I think Beamer's the right man. You know, there was a lot of young guys that had already proven head coach talent that would be up and comers, but I think Beamer's the man, and you just got to give him some time and, you know, let him do his thing. But I think right now he's the right man at the right place at the right time.
And we will see. What is your excitement level going into game number 1 a week from tomorrow?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask him about his excitement level for today.
I thought that's where we were going. I know that.
Excitement is just to be back. I mean, just, you know, if you know, obviously we want to win, but just to be back in the atmosphere, just to be back in tailgating, and you know, we had the Rockstar Trailer Park. We go on Friday nights and the RVs, and we leave on Sunday mornings. And some people come as far as Charleston, and some come about 5 miles down the road and spend the whole weekend over there. So we're just looking forward to the whole atmosphere of tailgating, the whole atmosphere of the Willie B and the 2001, and you know, hopefully we can be back as normal as we possibly can. You know, that's I know there's a lot of hospitals full and everything going on around the world today, but you know, at the same time, there's a lot of health in trying to be normal.
Right, no doubt about it. And being out here is as good a reason for us to be optimistic as we get in our year for sure. Happy to be out here at Charwood Golf Club. He's Rock Lucas, who runs this place, and we're happy that we get to get our normalcy or do our version of it right here in a couple of hours, and happy to have you on, man. Thanks for having us out.
We appreciate it. I just want to say thanks to all the staff out at the Wood that was here from 5 a.m. and you know, from the golf shop, making sure that y'all weren't out in the locked outside. And then
I don't know if they told you the reason I was late. I left my golf shoes at the house, and I thought those would be important today. So I figured you'd want me to have my golf shoes.
You don't need them to price.
Exactly.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Again, Rock Lucas out here at Charwood Golf Club. Several more early game celebrities have entered the festivities as well. We got a little guy, unfortunately, wearing a wrong color and shirt, and Clemson Sean's latest little one. We got the Godfather in the house. Star-studded final 30 minutes of the program coming up. It's the early game. It's 107.5 The Game.
Triple A.
Triple A.
And Patrick, weekdays 9 until noon on 107.5 The Game.
It's the late August. It's about to be early September. I don't know why it is. You would think June, July would be the hot months. Not necessarily true here in Columbia, South Carolina, where late August, September, when football season starts, is excruciatingly hot. Right now, you better have your air conditioner up and working. And if it's not, call AAA Heating and Air today. Roy and Dana Finley have treated me like a family member since I joined with them back in March. They got somebody out to my house. Billy came out, did an inspection on my unit, made sure it was ready to go for the summer, made sure the kids were happy with me. They need to do the same for you. They'll treat you like a family member. If they come out, if they inspect it, if there's an issue, guess what? Roy and Dana, AAA Heating and Air, are going to take care of you. First thing they're going to do is offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. Then they'll work with you. Financing. Well, we know money's tight right now. A lot of things are going on in the world. AAA Heating and Air wants you to be comfortable. They want your family to be comfortable. They want you to be a part of their family, so they're going to take care of you. They're going to offer you no money down, 0% financing, and work with you to make sure if you have to purchase a new unit, it can be affordable. And here's the best part. Then once they work with you on that new unit, they want to make sure that you become a loyal customer by offering you a 15-year parts and labor warranty. That's the kind of people you need in your life, making sure you and your family are happy. 803-677-1500. Again, 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Clear. From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com. And we do have an accident, Sid Bickley Road at Old Hilton Road, still slowing things down just a little bit. Also, Langford Road at Main Street, we have an accident. I-26 eastbound there at Augusta Road. The right lane is currently blocked due to an earlier accident. Should be nice today weather-wise. Looking for a high of 91. Just a chance for a pop-up shower here and there. Sun and clouds tomorrow and Sunday, 92 for the high. Right now, it's warming up a little bit, 77 at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Mattress Firm. Get a king bed for a queen price at Mattress Firm. Save up to $500 during the best Labor Day sale ever on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 or more.
Are you thinking about refinancing your home but worried that closing costs could cancel out any money you would save? It could happen. In fact, average closing costs for a $300,000 home in South Carolina are over $2,000. Yikes! How's that going to save you money? Cap your costs with a zero closing cost mortgage from Cap Center, your local mortgage lender.
This is our 6th time using Cap Center. And once again, the quality of service and speed of processing was excellent, and the savings are substantial.
This was my 3rd refinance with Cap Center. I've been very satisfied. The entire process is simple, never any surprises, and zero closing costs means zero closing costs.
Cap your closing costs. Visit capcenter.com. Equal housing lender. Visit capcenter.com for rates, savings, and offer limitations. This ad contains real client feedback voiced by actors. NMLS ID 67717. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, if you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, you need to call Mid-State Roofing, 356-1919. For nearly a quarter of a century, Mid-State Roofing has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and waterproofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry, especially commercial and industrial roofing systems. If you own or you're in charge of a large building, warehouse, or industrial facility, then you're in charge of that roof. And at some point, a roof is going to need some attention. So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all that Mid-State has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them, Mid-State twins.
If you have a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, midstateroofing.com.
All right, race fans, you know we're just weeks away from heading to Darlington Raceway, also affectionately known as the Lady in Black, and the track that's too tough to tame. And that's where the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs begin. On Saturday, September 4th, it's the Xfinity Series race, and then a doubleheader on Sunday, the Camping World Truck Series race, followed by the Southern 500. It's going to be a fantastic weekend of racing. You do not want to miss out. Get complete details on race tickets, camping, and premium parking at darlingtonraceway.com.
Join current Gamecock basketball players Jermaine Cousinard and Chico Carter Jr. for a one-day skills camp at Cardinal Newman High School on Saturday, August 28th. Boys ages 10 to 15 are invited to learn from local coaches for a day of skills training and fun. Register online at CarolinaBasketballAssociations.com.
This is Gus Herlong with Midas Tires and Auto Service. This football season, we're offering the whole 9 yards in car care. The best customer experience with reliable repairs and maintenance. We can tell you what needs fixing now and what can wait until postseason. We are locally owned and operated here in the Midlands and give back to our local community. That's you taking care of your community while Midas takes care of your car. Look out for our newest location on the corner of Bull and Gervais Street. Visit Midas.com and trust the Midas touch from the Herlong family-owned stores.
Hey, this is Brad Giles with Giles Brothers Insurance. Our family has been helping South Carolina families meet their insurance needs for over 50 years. We can help you meet your needs as well by providing auto, home, life, and business products. As a family-owned and operated agency, we will give you the personal service and peace of mind you deserve. Visit us at GilesBrothers.com. That's GILES Brothers.com to find out why we are the trusted choice in the Midlands. Come see the difference Giles Brothers Insurance can make for you.
Cancel that service appointment. Let your tires go bald. Whatever you do, don't put another penny in that old car. Trade it in and cash it in. At Galliana Kia on Greystone, we need your trade-in now more than ever. So we'll take any trade in any condition, even if you owe thousands more than your old car is worth. Get out of your old car and upgrade to a new Kia today. Lease a 2021 Kia Soul S for just $199 per month. Stock out a loan or lease. Now's the perfect time to get out, even with high mileage or cosmetic issues. And don't forget forget, Caliana Kia on Greystone will buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy a car from us. So don't wash your car, don't fix your truck, don't put a penny in your SUV. Trade it in and cash it in today at Caliana Kia on Greystone.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia on Greystone, I-126 Zoo Exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. To qualified lessees, 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $29.99 due at signing plus tax and tag. No security deposit. Negative trade equity refinance. New loan subject to lender approval. Offers don't combine. Expires month end.
It's officially time to clean up that summer mess at your house, especially your carpets. With more than 1,500 Google reviews and a 4.9 star rating, Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning, the most highly reviewed cleaning company in the area. Their patented no residue cleaning system gets your carpets, rugs, and upholstery insanely clean. Take advantage of their back to school sale going on now. Right now, 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, only $119, plus a free hallway when you mention me, Tim Hill. Call 803-262-4020 or schedule online at ZeroResColumbia.com.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. Download the TuneIn app so you can take 107.5 The Game with you wherever you go. And now, back to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
All right, guys are up.
Oh, did it just get weird in here? Did you guys get that? It just got weird, right? They're like, hey, these guys are going to do radio. We got to be really quiet all of a sudden. It's just radio, people. It's not that weird, I promise you.
Yeah, you should have. What you should have done is told him we're coming back. You got to clap and cheer. That's how radio works.
You know, live studio audience. It looks like he's got a sign there. It's college game day.
The cue cards would be great.
We got the Godfather. We got Clemson Sean and Clemson Sean Jr. with his sunglasses on. We're ready to go here.
Yeah.
We're also.
Did you real quick?
Yeah.
Brian brought me. Did you see what Brian brought me?
The Godfather, the
Godfather,
the massive Duncan.
He said, I said, what is it? He goes, I don't know. I just asked, what are the college girls drinking now? That's what I bring you. And Patrick says it's a large pumpkin cream.
I'm pretty sure pumpkin spice season started like this week or last week.
It's pretty delicious.
Pumpkin has eked into August.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure pumpkin just started because it's been controversial on Twitter that you can't drink pumpkin spice when it's over 100 degrees outside.
It was.
Pretty sure that's.
I saw a bunch of Halloween stuff in the stores the other day.
Well, might as well bring you a Christmas gift while he's at it, huh? We got pumpkin going in August. We got Christmas. Okay, fair enough. One of the reasons why we're pumped to be out here live on location at Charwood Golf Club because we're going to help raise some money for a good cause, and that's for Camp Cole. And we've done that once before, doing that again today. From Camp Cole, joining us now is Margaret Deans Grants. If you recognize the last name, that's because you're a Gamecock fan and you understand the magnitude of Jeff Grants and what he did with the program, both Gamecock football and baseball back in the day. Margaret Deans, thanks for joining us. And how long have you been with Camp Cole? Let's start with that.
I'm glad to be here. I founded Camp Cole in 2018 with my co-founder, Kelsey Carter. The dream kind of started in 2016, but we got our 501c in 2018 in May, began a capital campaign to raise $10 million. We actually raised over 13, and we opened our doors this June for, we had over 500 deserving campers.
It's amazing. For those who aren't familiar with Camp Cole, one of the reasons that I am drawn to this is because of the magnitude, I guess, how many different organizations that you can welcome in. It's not just one organization. You guys are kind of an umbrella for a bunch of different organizations that deal with a lot of challenges to come in and to give them positive experiences. And like you just mentioned, you just started being able to do that after raising all this money this summer. How gratifying was it for you to see this dream that started, 5 years ago, come to fruition just a couple of months ago?
It was pretty unbelievable. When the first campers drove down our drive, tears were brought to our eyes. It was just amazing to see the impact that we knew could be made here in South Carolina through Camp Cole. And we served kids with a lot of different life challenges, from cancer and brain tumors and cerebral palsy and strokes and Tourette's and spina bifida and homelessness. And it was just really amazing to be able to provide a place for all these deserving kids to experience boating for the first time, or experience fishing for the first time, or ride a horse for the first time. And they really left with an instilled piece of confidence and respect and love that sometimes with their challenge they don't get. They're seen differently. And at Camp Cole, we're able to give them a place that they truly belong, and it's built for people with life challenges, and it's completely accessible. And so it really allows for them to have their own home and have a space that was built just for them and with them in mind.
She's Margaret Deans Grants with Camp Cole, as you're hearing Clemson Sean Jr. in the background, maybe cheering her on.
Yeah, thank you.
Here at Charwood
Happy
Golf
for
Club.
someone that suspend every waking hour with Clemson Sean.
He's yelling at his father, why did you bring me to a Gamecock Club event? Like,
or why are you making me wear this orange?
Yeah,
Margaret Deans, another question I have for you, and maybe for those listening and unfamiliar. So Camp Cole is right here, right outside of the city limits, kind of in Columbia off Highway 378. And all the money that you've raised, all the kind of foundational work, now I understood how we could help then, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how can people help best Camp Cole at this point?
Well, we are now in the process of just raising funds to provide scholarship opportunities for our campers. Camp Cole provides a scholarship to every camper that comes through our door. And so as we raise funds, that's what those funds will allow. We're also always creating new programs that children and adults with life challenges can participate in. So our therapeutic riding program is completely accessible. Everybody can participate in. Our boating and our fishing and our outdoor games, every program we do is for someone that maybe couldn't do it somewhere else. And so the funds that we raise are also going towards those programs to make sure we can do them with accessibility and inclusivity in mind. And you can also always volunteer with us. In the summer, we're always looking, and in the weekends, always looking for volunteers for different programmatic experiences, counselors. We're also, have people that help us in the administrative world. And you can follow us on social media at Camp Cole, South Carolina, on our Facebook and our Instagram and Twitter. We're getting more active on Twitter as we go, but our Facebook and our Instagram are really active and really show the story a lot.
And you guys going to be out on hole number 17 today. Do you have any idea what you're in for?
I'm not quite sure. So my father owns RNDC, and he's told me a lot about golf tournaments and everything. So we are.
This is your first golf tournament?
It's not my first golf tournament, but it's my first. I just had a baby too, so it's my first one in a while.
Okay.
So he reminded me what golf tournaments were all about. So I'm excited. So.
I have two children. I've never had a baby, but I'm going to. I didn't know you could forget what a golf tournament is like by having a baby.
Well, I think it's kind of blocked out of my mind there. I do remember they're so crazy that then I had to brace myself for today and be like, all right, we're doing this. We're ready.
And
it's all for a good cause, so it's worked.
Early bedtime last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish, but
yeah, I know that.
2 kids under 2, that doesn't always work.
Oh boy, impressive. An 11 and 9-year-old.
All right, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, with the last name of Grants right now, exactly what that means in the family, being, I guess, marrying into the family of a Gamecock legend.
Mm-hmm.
And you grew up here. You went to Hammond. Fowler, she told us right before we popped on here off the air.
Yeah.
So what does that mean in your life now to be in the Grants family?
So I gotta be honest. I grew up an Ole Miss fan, which is one of the harder fans to be. It's constant disappointment sometimes. As an Ole Miss fan, my dad's from Oxford, Mississippi, but I grew up a Carolina fan because I'm here, but I went to Wofford. And so I did not quite know what I was getting into when I married Derek, Jeff's son. But now I am all in all Gamecock events. I am super proud of him and all that he's accomplished and what he continues to do today for Gamecock Nation. But it's been fun. I think it's funny when people stop us at dinner and be like, "Are you Jeff Grants?" I'm like, y'all, that was a long time ago. Like, seriously, but it's still Jeff Grants. And so I'm proud he's my father-in-law. I know it's fun having some, hopefully my kids get his athletic genes and not my husband.
Ah, nice. I like the shot there. Margaret Deans Grants from Camp Cole. Is campcole.org is where you can go to find out all the information there. And like you mentioned, Camp Cole, South Carolina is where you can find all the social media. Hole number 17 is where she's going to be today. I'm thinking, what do you think? You think $50, a $50 donation will buy you a birdie on that hole today? What do you think, Bill?
We might have a surprise out there for people.
Okay. You think that number's not quite correct? I mean, 17's tough.
You got me thinking of what? Yeah, 17's the par 3, right?
Yeah, long par 3.
Yeah,
$10,000 today if you hit a hole in one. Sponsored by Buford Lending. There, if assuming you don't hit a hole in one,
that's what I was doing the math on.
What do you think? You got a different number than $50?
I think you got to go 75, don't you?
Interesting.
Like 107.5.
Well, she's going up to 100. She's the fundraiser.
Okay, that's whatever. I was gonna give Brian Glenn all the credit. You bring me a pumpkin cream latte or whatever, all of a sudden,
everything's
I'm firing on all cylinders now.
Well, we'll see. We'll put him to the test in the dramatic conclusion of the show. Margaret Deans Grants, thanks for joining us with Camp Cole. Happy to have you guys out here, and
We're very excited. Thank y'all.
hope we can help in a small way out here, and we'll make sure that we get everybody
Every
pumped
penny
up
counts,
on
so we're
number
just grateful to
17.
be here. So thank you.
Absolutely. She's Margaret Deans Grants, again, with Camp Cole, part of our 107.5 The Game 14th anniversary golf tournament here at Charwood Golf Club. Dramatic conclusion of the program coming up. We'll see if Bill is really firing all cylinders when we come back. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Your 24/7.
I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
107.5 The Game.
From the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center, Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com. Getting things cleaned up there. Sid Bickley Road at Old Hilton Road. Langford Road at Main Street causing still a little bit of a slowdown. And the right lane continues to be blocked. I-26 eastbound at Augusta Highway. Looking for a high today of 91. Pop-up shower possible this afternoon. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow and sunny on Sunday. 92 for the weekend. Right now, 77 at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Mattress Firm. Get a king bed for a queen price at Mattress Firm. Save up to $500 during the best Labor Day sale ever on top-rated brands like Sealy and Sleepy's. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 or more.
Hey, it's Heath for AAA Heating and Air, the Midland's premier HVAC service provider. If you have not been maintaining your unit, no time like the present to make sure you take advantage of that. The folks at AAA Heating and Air can help you maintain and try and avoid eventually having to get that repair or replacement done. But sometimes it's already too late. If that's where you are and suddenly you are dealing with that heat and you're not having any fun with it, remember AAA Heating and Air has got you covered with 0% financing and no money down, plus a $1,500 savings just to take away your old unit. Call Roy and Dana at AAA Heating and Air and get a new unit tomorrow. 677-1500 is their number. That's 677-1500. Tell them Heat from 107.5 The Game sent you. Again, AAA Heating and Air, whether it's replace, maintain, or repair, they've got you covered. Give them a call, 677-1500. AAA Heating and Air.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips from my good friends at Integrated Media. Football season is nearly upon us, and that also means the rush to get your home theater built is nearly upon us too. Don't let that happen to you. Go ahead and call Integrated Media right now, 803-948-8327. Take advantage of what they can do for you. Maybe you've been to a buddy's house or a sports bar, seen a setup that you say, I want that in my house. They can do it for you. Beautiful state-of-the-art HD TVs in almost every size you can think of. Lifelike surround sound in ceiling or in wall, or the flexibility of a complete Sonos system that you can move around and suit your needs anywhere around the house, even outside. And that's right, they can do an outdoor setup for you too. Think about watching football while you enjoy the beautiful South Carolina weather. Call 803-948-8327. See more on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, no interest financing makes that home theater of your dreams more affordable than ever before. Integrated Media. Watch, listen, control.
Hey, this is Brad Giles with Giles Brothers Insurance. Our family has been helping South Carolina families meet their insurance needs for over 50 years. We can help you meet your needs as well by providing auto, home, life, and business products. As a family-owned and operated agency, we will give you the personal service and peace of mind you deserve. Visit us at gilesbrothers.com. That's GILES brothers.com to find out why we are the trusted choice in the Midlands. Come see the difference Giles Brothers Insurance can make for you.
Shepherd's Glass, a a true reflection of quality.
Family is strong, reliable, and always there. Shepherd's Glass has taken this approach in commercial, residential, and auto glass installation, repair, and replacement for over 50 years. Here's Brad Giles of Giles Brothers Insurance.
We use them quite a bit for our clients for their automotive glass needs. We actually go way back with the Shepherds. My dad and his dad started their businesses about a year apart in the 60s, so we've been working with them since then. There are a lot of glass companies out there, but I know when I send a client to Shepherds that they're going to be treated like I would treat my client. And I know the work's going to be done right because there is a right way and a wrong way to do work, and they do it the right way, plain and simple. I'm Brad Giles with Giles Brothers Insurance.
Visit shepherdsglass.com to see and learn more. shepherdsglass.com.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
If you've worked hard all week and you want to relax, maybe you want to lay out by your pool, you don't want to have a dirty pool. You want to be able to use it when you're ready. That's why you need to use the experts at Corley Pool Solutions, 803-445-8109. With over 20 years of experience, Corley Pool Solutions will make sure that when you and your family are ready to enjoy your pool, you're ready to hop in right then. Not have to go to the store where you spend more money and buy chemicals that you may not be familiar with. They'll do it for a flat rate monthly fee. Again, 20 years of experience. You need experts to take care of your pool. You don't want your kids hopping into something that you're uncertain of. You want comfort. You want to be able to use it when you can. Give Corley Pool Solutions a phone call, 803-445-8109. Again, that's 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game continues with Tim Hill and Bill Gunter on 1075 The Game.
Guys are up.
Live from Charwood Golf Club, West Columbia, 14th anniversary golf tournament about to tee off in an hour and 10 minutes from now or so. Little Clemson Sean Jr., I guess he would be a third, right? No, he would be Clemson Sean Jr. That's not how it works, is it?
The second.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, well, I guess we can get it like Chucky Three Sticks, right? We can come up with some kind of catchy nickname for this guy as he's wearing his Clemson orange. We might as well get the other side of the conversation here to balance things out. I mean, it's only fair, right? And this guy is holding a little monkey and a 1-year-old with a pacifier in right now.
He wants the mic.
Yeah,
Get out of here,
give that guy the mic, but he's got his pacifier in, so that might be difficult to do.
He's on a little monkey and a
Clemson
child.
Sean does?
Yeah, exactly. Jen taking the shot that Clemson Sean can't quite hear.
We'll see how long this interview can go.
Did you get to see any of Gamecock Larry, or did you just miss him?
I did not. I missed him. I was driving as fast as I could without
legally. Right. Good call.
Exceeding the posted speed restrictions while there's a child in the car.
Smart move.
But I did miss him. I hate it.
What was it, 2 years ago you were out here giving Gamecock Larry a gift?
2 years ago. 2 years ago. But we talk a good bit on the phone.
Nice.
You
really talk on the phone?
He leaves me voicemail.
That I can believe. That I believe. Does anybody not believe that?
Yeah, he calls me pretty good bit, and we have some good conversations.
And now we got his email address.
Well, the question is, does he call Sean after he calls the bank? Is that part of the 9 to 12 routine? He calls us, he calls the bank, then he calls Sean, and
Yeah. I try to get him to call me and let him think that I am the bank and try to get some of those routing numbers, but it hasn't worked yet.
Well done, sir. All right, from the Clemson perspective, sir, what do you think of the Shane Beamer conversation from the Gamecock side of things?
Well, I absolutely love the Beamer steamer reference every time Gamecock Larry does that one.
He does
Isn't
too.
that funny? The good old-fashioned Beamer steamer, but no, I mean, he's definitely brought some energy into the program. I mean, we'll see how well that helps. I mean, everybody always gets excited for at least a new coach and the possibility of success, but I don't know.
See, everybody's excited.
I think there's definitely going to be some transition going forward, and I think they're probably 2 conference wins this year. They should probably take care of Eastern Illinois, probably take care of ECU, somewhere in the 4 to 5 win range. They could slip up, maybe beat Auburn again this year, surprise a couple people. They definitely should be able to beat Tennessee, but I'm not going to give them that win yet. So as of right now, I'm probably going to say they're probably somewhere between 4 to 5 wins with a ceiling of maybe 7. Who knows? Some pretty crappy teams in the East right now. So
What about
that
Clemson,
schedule.
Georgia? Because people are not happy that I've said I'm not going to South Carolina game because I want a 2 TV it and watch the Clemson Georgia game.
Yeah, I mean, I have talked to a lot of my friends who are either going to the South Carolina game or they're not going to watch the Clemson game. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, sure, go watch Eastern Illinois and all that, but you're missing out on the game of the year. But, it's going to be a good matchup. Georgia's got a lot of wide receivers out. I don't know who they're going to throw the ball to. They've got a really good defensive line, so we'll get tested early. But I still think we're going to come out on top, and I think it's going to end up being about a 10-point win on our end late, but I think we'll end up pulling away and winning by about 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's fair. I don't know what else to say to that.
We got a week. We got a whole week. We got 15 hours to break it down next week. It will be a lot more fun after you watch a little bit of football this week and watch game day tomorrow morning.
What about the idea of starting with this game though? I mean that is a heck of a way to start the season, isn't it?
I mean, I kind of like it. It brings a good energy to the start of the season. I'd rather play a game like this now, the way that the playoffs are set up. Play it now, and if you lose, I mean, and that's your only loss. It still gives you a good possibility to be in the top 4. If you play that game in the middle of October or sometime in November and you lose, the numbers don't really help you get to the playoff in this format. So it's a good thing to play it now.
Okay, the Vegas over/under is 3.5. We'll put it at 4.5 for Gamecock wins. Where would you go right now if you had to put money on it?
I'm thinking I'm going to go with the over. I think like I said, I think they're going to be somewhere between 4 and 5. I really look at that 5. I think they're going to be able to at least win Vandy. I think they'll probably take care of another East opponent, slip up and beat somebody. Then you're going to win those 2 non-conference games. And I look at that Auburn game on the other side. I think Auburn, something doesn't sit well with me with that coaching hire and everything they got going on there.
Clemson Sean wearing his orange today, bringing his 1-year-old as a shield. Do you guys notice that?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get too mad at a guy.
Breaking news at the buzzer. I wish this came earlier. Jameis Winston has been named the starter in New Orleans.
Of course. We locked that up.
Taysom Hill's going to get traded next week.
All right.
Can't wait.
You just made that last part up, but we'll see.
Jack Easterby's trading for Taysom Hill right now.
Oh, there he goes. Figures. That's Patrick Perrette, Bill Gunter, Tim Hill, Clemson Sean, Gamecock Larry, the Godfather. I got to give a shout out to Jesse from Ethan.
Go work. Yeah, go work.
Thanks for listening to the early game.
Is 107.5 The Game. WNKT FM, a Cumulus station.
CBS Sports Radio. Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Howdy, the streamer here. You know, there's a place down yonder where 3 streams converge into one. It's where I saw the Mandalorian get himself into a space squabble. Watch me some UFC. Those folks from Modern Family had me cackling like a trout getting tickled. But that's the Disney bundle for you. It lets you stream Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for only $13.99 a month. The Disney bundle. It's stream.
He was saying he wants to see you out here, Jen, and he'll see you when you get out. Yep, don't worry about it. It's a great way to end up.
I know.
Again on the live stream. See you guys on Monday. What a show.